you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Let's get it started in here.
And the bass keeps running, running, and 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 running, running, and.
In this context, there's no disrespect, so when I bust my rhyme, you break your neck. We got 5 minutes for us to disconnect from all intellect and let the rhythm affect. You lose the inhibition, follow your intuition, free your inner soul and break away from tradition. Cause when we be out, girl, it's fully be that. You wouldn't believe how we wild shit out. We burn it till it's burned out, turn it till it's turned out. Act up from northwest, east side. Everybody, everybody, let's get into it. Get stoked, get it started, get it started, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Yeah. Lose control of body and soul. Don't move too fast, people just take it slow. Don't get ahead, just jump into it. Y'all hear about it, the people do it. Get started, get stupid. Don't worry about it, people will walk you through it step by step like an infant new kid. Inch by inch with a new solution. Transmit hits with no delusion. The feeling's irresistible and that's how we move it. Everybody, everybody, let's get into it. Get stoked, get it started, get it started, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Yeah.
Keep running, running, and running, running.
Come on, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. And while I get let's get it. While I get let's get it. Let's get ill, that's the deal. Applicator will bring the bug-dot drill. Just lose your mind, this is the time. Your can't stand still, just to bang your spine. Just bob your head like me, Apple D. Up inside your club or in your Bentley. Get messy, loud and sick. Your mind fast, no more another head trip. So come them now, do not correct it. Let's get ignorant, let's get hectic. Everybody, everybody, let's get into it. Get stoked, get it started, get it started, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Everybody, everybody, let's get into it. Get stoked, get it started, get it started, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Don't get ahead, just jump into it. Y'all hear about it, the people do it. Get started, get stupid. Don't worry about it, people will walk you through it step by step like an infant new kid. Inch by inch with a new solution. Transmit hits with no delusion. The feeling's irresistible and that's how we move it. Everybody.
Special Sports KDOL presentation. I'm Mario Bobino. This is the Lou Jones 25th Silver Bowl here at the Oakland Coliseum. Mario Bobino once again joined today by Omar Nazo out of USC National Champions. Mike Tyler of the Oakland Raiders Public Relations Department. Thanks for joining me today, fellas. Now, you viewers are in for a special treat because this is the quarter-of-a-century Silver Bowl, Lou Jones Silver Bowl, and we're going to bring it to you live and direct right here today. Now, Omar, what is your perspective on today's both teams, McClymonds and Oakland Tech?
Well, I think this is going to be a wonderful game today. Others might dispute that it might be a blowout, but you know, this is the Oakland Public School League, and you never can really tell. But McClymonds is showing that they're becoming a dynasty in Oakland, California, and they're putting together a couple of little OAL championship runs, and so I see them being the winners this game.
Okay, Mike?
Well, you know, first of all, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me. I'm here at my home stadium, McAfee Coliseum. I'm happy to see these kids out. It's a real good community event to have these kids out in the Coliseum turf there, the Raiders Shield, to have them play in this game. As far as the game is concerned, Oakland Tech, McClymonds, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a great contest. These kids, and as I say, it's great for these kids to be out here in this stadium, this environment. Let's get going.
And besides that, like, I have to be really neutral. Normally, I'm not neutral up here, but I have so many ties with a lot of these players and coaches. Delton played with me at Oakland High. Coach Alanos is a good friend to me. Their defensive coordinator, Curtis McCauley, played with me at Oakland High. And my young protege who put together the intro, Steph Smith. Yes, Steph Smith put together the intro with myself, is the running back for Oakland Tech. So I have so many good friends out there that's playing in today's Silver Bowl. So what we're going to do is swing the camera around while we continue to run our mouths and get the opening kickoff for the Silver Bowl. And I'm very excited to have both of you guys up here with me. Omar Nazel's getting his feet wet for the first time, and I know you're going to do your thing, because I know back in Scotland, you used to like to run your mouth a lot. So you're going to be very good at this today, Omar. So good luck to you, Mike. It's always a pleasure to do the game with you, Mike. I'm looking forward to your comments on the game, because you got that good football skills and knowledge. Let's just have fun with today's telecast, fellas.
Pleasure. Well, it looks like McClymonds is setting up to kick the ball off to Oakland Tech.
And, you know, like, McClymonds is ranked 3rd in the East Bay, while Tech has made honorable mention. Tech is holding on to an 8-3 record, while McClymonds has a 10-1 record. Both of these teams have showed me this past season the intestinal fortitude of what it takes to be a great football team.
Yeah, I believe that too, because as it stands, I believe that Oakland Tech was an underdog coming into the playoff game against Skyline, and they actually squeaked out the game by a real impressive victory. Had it not been for a couple of turnovers, I don't think that the score would have actually been the way that it was right now. I think it would have been more of a blowout on Oakland Tech's side.
Well, here we are. Well, Oakland Tech's here. You know, as you said, Oakland Tech made it here. Obviously, Skyline had an impressive victory over Fremont, 76-12, and Oakland Tech, as you said, beat Skyline 33-27. But they made it here. These two teams are in the finals.
Well, you know, basically, I see this whole matchup, 25th Lou Jones Silver Bowl, as a David versus Goliath type situation. Definitely Mac is the Goliath, and David is the Tech Bulldogs. Now, Tech, at the beginning of the season, they was playing with Seth Smith and their quarterback, but they had some problems when they played against Skyline the first time. So, you know, now that Seth's healthy, McCrady's back doing his thing, I think Tech does have a chance to upset McClymonds. Point in case, if McClymonds seems to slip a little bit, I think Tech will take advantage. Another good thing is it's not raining.
Well, Seth Smith coming off a 260-yard, 4-touchdown game, so that has been impressive. As Lomar said, even though he had to come off the field with breathers because he's coming back from an injury.
Well, as we go to the field, looks like McClymonds goes with the squib kick, and it's muffled. It's muffled at around the 20. Number 1 gets swarmed by the McClymonds players as the defense enters the field, and Oakland Tech comes with their offense.
Seth Smith on the return to kickoff for the Bulldogs, my young protege in this video and filmmaking world, as Tech will start off at their 21-yard line, Omar.
Yeah. Normally, you would see a football team try to advance the ball there, but because of the situation with the muff fumble, the Oakland Tech thought it was best, more or less, to just preserve the most yards that they can get and start their offense from the 20.
And
now it looks like pro set. Oh, the ball, once again, looks like Oakland Tech is having problems with the ball because the exchange from the center to the quarterback was muffled, and it looks as if
McClymonds says that they got it.
It looks as if McClymonds actually has the ball.
And they do.
Now that
key turnover. Key turn in this game, deep in Oakland Tech's territory.
I really don't see how Oakland Tech can think that they can have a chance at this game by turning the ball over so easy. This is a real tough McClymonds Warriors team, and I really don't see them having a chance if turnovers are going to be this costly in the game.
And not only that, though, but like I said earlier before the game started, is the field isn't wet. Now, yesterday it rained, but for the field to be dry like this, I don't see where they should have any type of problems handling the ball.
Well, they have a obviously a very good drainage system here at the Coliseum, so I don't think the field and turf would be any problems.
Maybe it's just the jitters.
Yeah, it looks like it's a strong formation for I strong. Heights to give it to the running back, and he stumbles down for a good 5 yards until he's swarmed by 2 Oakland Tech players.
And that was Willie Griffith, the second team All-City, 5'10", 185, a junior. So he's their future back for next season.
From what I understand, they have three excellent running backs: Rico Thomas, Terrence McGoy, and Willie Griffin.
It's 2nd and 5 on the 15-yard line. McClymonds is looking to power the ball in with an I formation. Strength is to the left. The ball is set to the right hash of the field. Height. It looks another running play to Johnson to Griffin, and he stumbles down there until the 2-yard line.
You know, it's really
gain of 12.
It's interesting because I know me and Coach Alano, we're really close, and he helped us televise the game 2 years ago. He knows last year they were in the Silver Bowl, but they came up short against Skyline. And he really wants to win this Silver Bowl here at the Coliseum. So I know that he really got his team fired up for this game right here. Well, he wants to get that W here at McCaffrey Stadium.
I'm very impressed by Willie Griffin. The guy, the young running back, has swerve. He swerves his hips. He has good movement, good motion, and got down for that first down, 1st and goal.
LaRon Johnson sets his offense with an I formation. Oh, looks like the offense may have started a little early. You can't do that. I don't think that the fans may have played a big part in that. They just may have had a little miscommunication between the quarterback and the lineman. Let's see what the referee has to say about that.
Omar, once again, as you said with Oakland Tech, you know, they had little jitters on that first play. Maybe McClymonds had little jitters also.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to have a jitter to play in big games like this. Obviously, you should know that because you know this is a wonderful stadium to play in. So I would believe so.
And so should you.
Oh, I formation at the 2-yard line. McClymonds is preparing to score. As they hike the ball, give it to Griffin. Oh, and he's stuffed at the 1-yard line. No, they call it the touchdown. Looks like Griffin stretched across that goal line just to break the plane with the nose of the ball.
With 10 minutes and 22 seconds in the first quarter, McClymonds goes up 6-0.
As we talked about, that's one thing that Oakland Tech doesn't want to do. They don't want to get McClymonds. Number one, they don't want to get turnovers. They don't want to get McClymonds the ball in that type of field position. They want to control the ball, control the clock.
You're absolutely right. See, already, as Mario was saying, you know, McClymonds is the Goliath of this team, so it's hard to win against Goliath when you're giving them every opportunity to, you know, get easy scores and things of that nature. And the field extra point is good, so it's 7-0. McClymonds is leading.
And give credit to Chris Hancock, the field goal kicker. Chris Hancock makes the PAT as the McClymonds Warriors take a 7-0 lead with 10:22 left in the first quarter. So, you know, things aren't going right for Tech, but one thing I do know about Coach Tech and Coach Delton Edwards is the fact that he's going to get his teams really ready to go. As you see, as he got his team huddled, he's telling them, hey, we got to take advantage of what we're going to give them. We cannot give them free opportunities by turning the ball over, especially in our red zone.
And it is early. It's very, very early in this context. That was only the first scoring drive early in the first quarter. So Tech just needs to settle down, settle in, and get a drive. They get a score, and they're right back into this game.
McClymonds Warriors, because as it stands, Willie Griffin has ran for 4 carries and 20 yards. That's 5 yards to carry. You really can't win against a team when you're having a running game that's successful.
And not only that, I mean, something that people don't really know about the McClymonds Warriors is the heart and strength of this McClymonds Warriors team is their offensive and defensive line. As they step back up again, look at the massive size of their offensive defensive line. And they got the All-American playing in the Army Bowl, Derek Hill.
Well, I understand the guys. Antoine Carter, 6'4", 260. Gavin Butler, 6'4", 325. Thomas Bird, 6 foot, 265. That's a huge offensive line.
Yeah.
For high school, college.
Exactly. And that's intimidating.
So, pro team.
Looks like another kick. Oh, number 5 gathers himself at the 15, and he's breaking tackles all the way into the 36-yard line where he's tackled by a couple of McClymonds players.
And that was Bernard Scott, the leading receiver for the Bulldogs. Look for him to have a very big game. He led the league, I believe, in receptions as well as yards. So look for Bernard Scott to do some really big things. He's their key to-go guy in reference to receiving. So look for him to get the ball thrown to about 10 times at a minimum.
Yes, he did. In fact, he had 36 receptions and 610 yards and 8 touchdowns this year.
McCrady is setting his offense with an I slot formation. The slot is to the field side maybe to get a blocking advantage. But McCready is going back to pass with the one-on-one coverage. Oh, number 19 goes up there. Oh, he does not make the big grab.
Came close.
Looks as if it might be an injury on the sideline. And I think it is so. The referee stopped the clock. It is a player down.
And just a quick note for you viewers out there watching, our cinema photographer for today's game is Robert Lamone. He does a real excellent job. And just to let you viewers out there know, the running back for Oakland Tech, Seth Smith, was mentored by our cinema photographer. So he had some real good mentors in his life. Robert Lamone also mentored Seth Smith. Just let you viewers out there know during this little injury that we have on the field. So Omar, you know, we're gonna keep running our mouths here. So Omar, you know, you played at the National Champions USC.
Oh, yeah.
How was that experience, man, playing in Atlanta, Troy?
Well, you know, it was a beautiful experience. You know, it allowed me to get more exposure as for playing football and just to play a lot of different talented players. You know, that's really what it was. A lot of people underestimate the competition that is at the collegiate level, and I actually respected the opportunity to play against such players.
Yeah, I remember. Go on, Mike.
Well, the great thing about it is, you know, obviously with SC doing as well as they are, you know, I'm really happy to see because we know there's an East Coast bias, you know, as far as college football is concerned. And the West Coast teams really don't get the recognition like they should have gotten. Even when you were in college, obviously with SC doing like they are now, they're getting it, finally getting it. At least SC is. But it's good. It's really good to see. And you really helped to bring that on, really bring that back to USC.
Yeah, see, I'm not really one to toot my horn, but I always said that I wanted to go somewhere where I can make a change. You know, at the time when I was coming out of high school, Miami, the U, Big U, and Florida State were real prominent in the college football game. They were taking a lot of national championships, but I decided to go to the Trojans and try to put in a little bit of effort and really build something that was going to be a dynasty, and, you know, it paid off.
As I said, you know, they had the early success, obviously, back in the Charles White and Ronnie Lott days. You know, they had the success there, and now you guys are rolling. Now you guys brought it back. You really brought it back to that prominence. Now these guys are rolling. SC is really rolling right now. It's really good to see.
Yeah, you know, and you can also kind of relate that into what Alonzo is doing with McClymonds.
Okay, and on that note, we're going to take a quick PSA from our station, and we'll be back with the remaining play of the 25th Annual Silver Bowl with 10:08 left in the first quarter.
I'm Randy Ward. As I visit Oakland schools and talk to parents, I hear a common theme. Parents want their children to be more successful than they are, to achieve their full potential. Parents, let me share a tip with you to help your child succeed in life. Make sure your child attends school every day on time, and your child will achieve. Studies show that children with a 95% attendance rate achieve better than a 3.1 grade point average. Attend and achieve. Every single day counts.
Oakland Tech is starting off with a weak formation with 3 wide receivers. And they go with the run, and Seth Smith is pounded in the backfield. Looks like he's met by number 70 from the McClymonds Warriors and a slew of other players at that.
Antoine Howard, a first-team All-City defensive lineman out of the Warriors. He is a senior.
Looks like the offense. It was an offensive line breakdown somewhere in Oakland Tech's offensive line because it looked like a jailbreak. All you saw was a whole bunch of orange shirts in the backfield. I mean, you really can't get any kind of positive yards when you're allowing the other team to infiltrate your backfield that easy.
This is one thing Tech doesn't want to see, 3rd and 16. They want to keep out of these long yardage situations.
Oh, and an incomplete pass. McCready had a four receiver set, and he looked to throw a swing pass to Seth Smith, but he was incomplete with the pass, and this is forcing them for a punt.
Unfortunately, that swing pass, even if it was completed, Mack had 4 defenders there in the territory, would have tackled him far short of a first down.
So it's best that he didn't catch that pass.
Oh yeah, it was a lose-lose, or catch 22 actually.
Exactly. So back to receive the punt for the McClymonds Warriors would be Blackwell, and I can't quite see the other number, maybe McCoy.
Yeah, this is a tactic that most teams use when another team is trying to avoid from kicking into one particular punt returner. That way they can have a chance at a return. But this one is far too short, and the McClymonds players waves his guys away from it. But there's a flag on the play.
I think that may be against McClymonds. It seemed like they kind of had a little head start on that play right there in reference to, I think they jumped offside.
With Mack having so many talented skill players, that's one thing that they can do. They can go back and double deep safety on the punt return.
Yeah. That's absolutely true. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here, gentlemen. We know how good this McClymonds team is, but today is to see if Oakland Tech can actually overpower, which they have done in the past with the win over Skyline Titans. They were actually the underdog, and they did win by continually pounding the ball with Seth Smith. So we can see a good football game today. What Oakland Tech needs to do is be more aggressive at the point of attack for the line of scrimmage and move the McClymonds defense back, therefore opening holes for Seth to get into the backfield. Once Seth is in an open field, he has the elusiveness to break big plays and break tackles. So we'll see through the course of the game what happens.
You know, not only that, though, but it comes down to anybody can be beat on any given day. So, you know, as long as Tech's on all cylinders, they got a chance to beat the McClymonds Warriors, but it's going to take a whole lot of determination.
Looks like McClymonds is favoring this I formation. Johnson with the ball, and he's dropping back for a quick pass, but he's going deep for number 2. One-on-one coverage, and he caught the ball.
You know, like they say, big players make
big players play big in big games, and that was a big catch for looks to be 40 yards.
Blackwell also plays basketball. Look for him this OAL season, shooting that hoop. So he's point guard for the McClymonds Warriors.
Oh yeah, we can definitely tell by the athletic move that he made to go up and get that ball. Johnson he has an I formation. This time they have the tight end split out, so it's a 3-receiver I formation. It's I slide is what they call it.
Unfortunately, it's a penalty flag on that play. I believe it was offsides on Oakland Tech.
Yeah. I don't understand. They're just not. It doesn't seem like the Bulldogs have been able to settle into this game. Right now, they're actually acting as if they still have those pre-game jitters. I mean, usually you get rid of those after the first hit or so, but you know, it seems like it's still lingering around.
You certainly hope so. You'd hope the Tech can settle down, settle in this game, and but it's still early. It's still early in this game, so but they do need to settle down.
But we also must realize the history of this McClymonds team. They actually scored 76 points last game.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so with this type of pace, you can't allow them to continue to pull you over with these easy scores.
That's so correct, Omar.
Oh, number 4, Johnson gives the ball to number 4, and he rumbles down. Looks to be 2 or 3 yards, or may have got to the line of scrimmage. Let's see where they spot the ball.
Terrence McCoy on the carry with 8:28 left in the first quarter. McClymonds is holding on to a 7-0 lead, and they are in Tech's territory. You know, like I said, this is the 25th Lou Jones Silver Bowl, so the tradition's been going on for some time. I'm just glad to have it back here at the Oakland Coliseum because it's nothing like passing by this Coliseum on a daily basis and finally getting a chance to play in.
I slot formation. Johnson motions his slot receiver to the left. Looks like it's going to be a false start on number 56 of the offensive line.
Yeah, unfortunately, the right tackle moved on that play.
And now, Omar, if you could so far, I mean, just help us out here because it's been so long since me and myself and probably Mike played, you know, high school football. You're not that far from it.
Yeah.
In a game like this, you know, and then going on to college, what's the major difference between high school and college?
Well, what you have to realize is that everything is more fine-tuned. Everything that you do is basically written down and taken and accounted for so they can note your progression. So, you know, with you slacking, it's not going to work. I slot formation, slide it to the right. Johnson hikes the ball, gives it to number 4, gets tackled a yard, maybe actually just to the line of scrimmage.
Terrence McCoy on the carry once again.
Yeah, this game it seems as though finally Oakland Tech has gotten into the groove of the game. I mean, yeah, that offside penalty, that false start penalty for the McClymonds Warriors might have set them back a tad bit, but that still does not say that, you know, they could have busted for that last run, but Oakland Tech stopped them, so now forcing them into a 3rd and long.
First and 3rd and long. This is where you want to have McClymonds, 3rd and long.
Right, because this is when everybody's on the same page. Your defensive lineman starts to get their chops all juicy because they know it's going to be a pass. And so now, oh, it's a pass, and it's incomplete. Incomplete. Johnson I guess he had a wrong read on his receiver. It looked as though Johnson wanted him to cut out, and receiver cut in, so just a little miscommunication there.
Which will bring up 4th down. And one thing I want you viewers out there to know, even though the score is 7-0 with 6:52 left, Tech Bulldogs are a very scrappy team. They showed that in the last game when they played against the Skyline Titans up there on the hill.
Looks like McClymonds going to go for it. 4th and 8.
Wow, this is
That's
a
no
real
respect. That's no respect
That
right there.
is no respect at all. This is a bold call by Coach Alonzo Carter. Maybe he feels as though he has to set a tone for this game early. And you know, excuse me, but that last pass was thrown by Alonzo Walker, and he's also in as quarterback right now. And he's dropping back to pass. Oh, looks like a screen to the left. Number 1 catches the ball with blockers in front of him, and he stumbles down to about the first down, I believe.
Got it. Rico Thomas picked up the first down on a screen pass.
And we have another Bulldog that's down.
And just to let you viewers know, the starting quarterback is LaRon Johnson for the McClymonds Warriors. He's a junior, and he's been doing his thing all season long. LaRon Johnson is the starting quarterback for the Warriors, and he's been doing his thing all season long. And he's a very good, efficient quarterback. But because the OER has so many talented quarterbacks, it's kind of hard to sneak in there and give him that first or second.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, we have a Tech player who's injured on the field.
So viewers, on that note, we're going to come back with another station identification break.
That was Seth Gray who was the injured player. Looks as though McClymonds is with the I slot formation again. Slotted to the right, hike the ball, giving it to number 1, and that's Rico Thomas, who gains approximately 4 yards to the left-hand side. Looks like McClymonds is really favoring that I formation. It seems as though it creates difficult matchups for Oakland Tech as they shift and rotate that slot receiver to the line of scrimmage, off the line of scrimmage, to the left, to the right.
Rico Thomas was Mac's leading rusher, 971 yards this year, 11 touchdowns.
Johnson again brings his team up to the 22-yard line. I formation, strong side right, excuse me. Looks like a zone play to the right-hand side. Griffin gives number 20 a big stiff arm as he gains 2 or 3 extra yards on the play. That I think may be the difference between the McClymonds team, because in this first quarter we've seen 2 Oakland Tech players hurt, and we have not yet seen a McClymonds player hurt.
Well, you know, Tech the offensive linemen are pretty big, and McClymonds, they have a real good, strong weight program with Coach Alonzo Carter. So them guys hit the weights a lot, so yeah. They're ready to be physical. That's why Alonzo called out a few East Bay teams, because they're ready to play.
I formation once again. Johnson is getting everything straight with his linemen up front. And he hard counts for drawing the defense offside.
Now, that's something I always have a hard time understanding. If you play football, how could you be drawn offside? I thought you're supposed to watch the ball.
You're supposed to watch the ball, but you got emotions going on. I mean, come on. Yeah. You're out there. It's a field of battle. So that's easier said than done.
No. I mean, I even see the pros do it, but I just always have a hard time. I remember playing Pop Warner to high school to college. They always say, watch the ball.
Well, you have to also realize that in this drive, you know, McClymonds is really taking control. They've driven approximately 50 to 60 yards down the field. So now Oakland Tech is getting a little bit antsy, and they want to get after the quarterback a little bit. So, you know, that's when people start cutting corners. It's an I formation once again. Johnson is relaying something back and forth to his receivers as he gets a quick read, throws the ball, and it's a touchdown. Hold up.
James Brown.
There's a penalty on the play.
James Brown on the reception for the 14-yard reception. But let's see what the penalty, who was it on?
This may be called back.
But you know what? I remember
pass interference on the offense.
3 years ago, I remember when Oakland Tech, when Marshawn Lynch played against Skyline. I remember Skyline jumped out to a huge lead that particular game on that particular night. And so Tech kind of is a slow starter in these big-type games. But Tech will come back. Right now, it doesn't seem really positive for them, but they are a type of team that will come back, as Coach Dale Edwards is a good coach.
That was a big call for Oakland Tech right there, that touchdown has been nullified by the offensive pass interference penalty.
That's correct. That brings the offense, McClymonds offense, to the 29, whereas where they were at the 14, and this is second and a long way to go.
22nd and 27, as a matter of fact.
I formation. Looks to go with the run. They hand it off to Griffin, and he gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard past it.
Good defensive stop by the Bulldogs. That was probably their best defensive effort thus far in the game with 4:25 left in the first quarter.
That is correct, Mario. Stout defensive line play by Oakland Tech.
Now I believe it's 3rd and 23.
Well, as you know, I guess this is, for Mac, this is 2-down territory, yeah?
I formation. Oakland Tech is really crowding that line of scrimmage, looking to stop the run. You need to watch out because they're going deep to the big tight end, number 7. Oh, and that's incomplete. The pass is broken up by number 44 of Oakland Tech. That was a great play, stopping the drive in its tracks.
Number 44, Anthony Gaddis, did an excellent play on that.
Yeah, Mac was trying to go to the big-time receiver, all-city receiver, Darius Ward. And if I could say real quick, there's one kid on the defensive line for the Tech Bulldogs that impressed me all season long. He clogs up that middle so well. And I'm speaking of Darius Chappelle. He's been our varsity player for 3 years now. And it really feels good to see him out there in his last year here at the Oakland Coliseum doing his thing. So you guys will hear big things, and we will be calling his name out tonight.
McClymonds calls a timeout on the field, maybe just to get a couple of things straight.
Look at this, Mike. Look at, you with this Raiders. 5'11", 322. It's hard to move somebody like that.
Very difficult. One thing about this Oakland Tech defense, I mean, they are crowding the line of scrimmage. They have 10 players in the line of scrimmage, which is a very, very interesting strategy. They're trying to stop that run. But they did play that pass very, very well in that last play.
What do you defend? I mean, Coach Edwards has to make a decision. Either I'm going to defend the run or the pass. And because McClymonds has 3 very talented running backs, he's deciding to defend the pass.
Yeah, but see, I think maybe that he possibly might be jumping a little bit too early on stopping the run, because as you know, the pass, it was a big pass play that got them down there in the first play, and it also was about to be a big pass play to get them into the end zone had it not been for that penalty. So really you have to wonder, now, are you going to kill yourself with a whole bunch of, running attempts, and then maybe he breaks 2 or 3, or are you going to let them kill you with 2 or 3 passes for like 100 yards?
Well, one thing I will say about Coach Edwards, something that Coach Beam did really well. It's only the first quarter. They'll make the proper adjustments at halftime.
Yeah.
He makes real good adjustments at halftime. So I'm pretty sure as the game continues to go on, you'll see a different Tech team come out second half.
This is 4th down and 25, and McClymonds, as we said, is going for it.
3:56 left in the first quarter.
I formation. Johnson is dropping back to pass. He's looking for that one-on-one coverage, but he's going to the corner, number 9, and he is almost picked off by number 5 in the Oakland Tech secondary. He had a beat on him. It looks as if they were playing a little bit of a cover 2 defense. The safety had overtop help as the linebacker had him underneath, which kind of closed that window up.
Okay, number 5, Bernard Scott, made an excellent play. I tell you, Oakland Tech dropped back in a cover 3 deep, 3 deep across the board. They knew that McClymonds had to go deep. I mean, it was 4th and 25, and then Bernard Scott played that excellent.
And he's also doubling up as receiver as well as DB. So good job, Bernard Scott.
Oh, looks as though they had a full house formation for Oakland Tech. They were rushing to the line, hoping to get McClymonds offsides, but they were too alert, and they stopped them at approximately 2 yards gain. That was a big play for Oakland Tech. I really admire them for stepping up and making a play to stop that potential score. The full house formation once again, and Seth is hit in the backfield. What a big hit by the McClymonds player.
Well, it seems like that defensive line is just getting through there. Tech is going to have to go to the passing game because the running is not working right now. Maybe go back to it a little later on, but right now, open it up.
Well, those runs up the middle, I mean, there's nowhere to run in that middle of the line. You can see that McClymonds has some guys, some big burly guys in there who are stacking that middle of the line.
Yeah, by bringing that 3-back formation, that also gives McClymonds more of a beat on what you're going to do. That leaves no doubt that it's probably a higher percent of a chance that it's going to be run. It's a pro set slot formation. McCready back to pass, and the ball is batted down by the defensive line. Number 76 with a big hurry.
Also, Herschel Willingham also got a hand up to deflect the ball as well.
That's too bad. He had Seth Smith open, wide open in the flat.
Well, I guess
Seth would have caught that. He had the ability to maneuver a little bit.
yeah, and Seth does got good speed, the little burly running back.
But
I
that's
don't mean little, the burly running back, because he's not little. He's not short at all. He's just burly.
Definitely, but you know, that's what happens. Sometimes, you know, when you have a good defensive line, they are the erasers of all the things that coverages have problems with. You know, there's always a open zone in the coverage somewhere, but with a good defensive line, pressure will erase all of that.
Pressure makes for a great pass.
Oh, and they faked the punt,
First
and
down.
it is caught by number 5 on Oakland Tech, and it's a first down.
Kept up play. And you know what I like about that? There was gutsy call. Alonzo did it to him. He did it back.
Bernard Scott made another key play.
I think this is real big. I think that Delton Edwards has a beat on the McClymonds Warriors. What it is that he's doing is on this last series, he's used quick counts. He's also used a little bit of trickery. So maybe he's targeting on the discipline of the McClymonds Warriors to see if they're actually into the football game right now. Now, once again, that full house formation, and Seth is hit in the backfield by a big-time player.
Steven Roseman, second-team All-City player and linebacker.
I don't know. I really think that
Steven Roseman.
he wanted his picture in the paper with that hit right there.
He
'Cause
got
that
it.
hurt me.
I'll tell you, that might be on ESPN's Jack Up.
I'm
Big
sorry
kid,
about that,
big
Seth.
kid. Well, Steph, he's going to do his thing. Just, you know, he has to get his motor running for him to really get things going.
Definitely.
And he's going to figure out a way when he's getting the ball how they keep getting
Full
in the
house
backfield.
formation, strength is to the left, and they hand it off once again to Steph as he explodes to the right-hand side, trying to gain a couple of extra yards as he's tripped up by the McClymonds players. It looked as if he could have got around that corner, he could have broke for at least 6 or 7 extra yards. But as it is, he got tripped up with a shoestring tackle, and now it is 3rd and approximately 15.
1:44 left in the first quarter. McClymonds is holding on to a 7-0 lead as the Warriors are on their, as the Bulldogs are on their own 35-yard line.
Well, actually, this is a very, very good drive by Oakland Tech. They're controlling the ball, controlling the clock. So even if they don't score, they still keep the ball away from a powerful McClymonds offense.
Now they're coming out with a little bit of, like I said, the trickery, five receiver formation. McCrady has a lot of time, and he throws a bad pass to the sideline for number 4.
Well, he had to rush it because 99 was on him. Brandon Nathaniel was on him.
Definitely.
Smart move.
McCrady needs to show a little bit of more poise in that pocket. He had 5 receivers, so you need to not just zone in on your one target. You have 4 other guys out there running routes, looking and trying to pick apart the coverage. Looks like we're going to a punt formation by Oakland Tech.
We all knew what happened on the last punt formation, though, so
Exactly.
I'm sure McClymonds is ready for a possible.
I don't think Delton will do it this time.
And it's actually a punt.
Good punt as the ball
Stephen
will roll out of
Blackwell
bounds.
he opts not to get the ball, and he just takes the yardage.
He's a good punt off to the McClymonds 39-yard line, it seems like there.
And Tech will take over in the McClymonds 39-yard line, looking to score. No, excuse me, McClymonds will. They were stopped last time around with a couple of great pass defensives by the secondary of Oakland Tech Bulldogs. If the secondary can continue to play this well, then Delton can actually afford to put 9 guys in the box to stop that run. So really, we never know what's going to happen in this game. It's still 7-0. It's 106 in the first quarter. Let's see what's going to happen.
The great thing about it is Delton Edwards showed some versatility with his defense. In that 4th down play, he did drop back in that cover 3 and got out of that 9 in the box.
I formation, and he fakes a play action, and he throws to his running back in the flat who has room, and he slides for a couple of extra yards.
Rico Thomas on the reception there. You know, one thing I say about both coaches is both coaches are friends. Both coaches like to take chances. So we're going to be in for a whole bunch of full of surprises in today's 25th Lou Jones Silver Bowl.
We've seen that already. Both coaches have gone for it on 4th down.
And I bet you both coaches want to win this game for bragging rights of Oakland, because this was a big deal. You know, this is still a big deal. You know, all these prominent athletes coming out of Oakland, California, and whoever actually holds that crown, that Silver Bowl, really gets a chance to really, you know, display how good they are. Now, Johnson hands off to his fullback, and from an I formation, he gains the ball, let's say, gets to the line of scrimmage.
And out of the 25 years the Silver Bowl has been played, normally it's always Skyline that's in it. So this is a big game for both these teams because normally on the other end, it's normally Skyline.
Yeah, that's actually very, very true. But I had a chance to sit down and talk to Alonzo Carter today, and he was explaining to me how the shift of power came to be. Johnson is getting this offense, looks like a I formation, and he hikes the ball, gives it to Griffin. Griffin is tossed around for approximately 2 yards.
It's brought down by the defensive lineman.
As the clock ticks to 0.
And that's going to end the first quarter. So we'll be back after a quick station ID break with the second quarter of the 25th Lou Jones Silver Bowl.
AOL television for Oakland.
I just got to bring it to their attention.
This being the third kickoff after they score big, and they give him a squib kick up the middle. Seth Smith gets the ball at approximately the 25, and he is stopped short at the 35-yard line. Oakland Tech approaches the field.
You know, we talked about this McClymonds offense, and they're running the same plays. They're not running anything any different. We saw that touchdown play there earlier on the other side. And, fortunately, Oakland Tech broke it up, but they're running the same plays. McClymonds running that boot. They're running these same plays, but they're being effective because they're executing.
Right. You know, the old saying, as we always say, if it's broke, don't fix it. And I believe that adage is applying to McClymonds today because they are actually running the same plays, but they're being effective with it, and so they decide not to deviate from the program. So that's good coaching on Alonzo Carter.
Execution is the key.
And also, you know, you can't allow a team like the Warriors to put them in them scoring positions and opportunities.
Pro slot formation, slide it to the right with the big alt tackle play once again, and Smith is cut for a loss of approximately 3. So it looks like both coaches are actually realizing what are potential good plays for this game as to, you know, what was working for him ahead of time, and they're going back to what's happened. But in this case, McClymonds was already all over that, and they stopped it for a negative yard.
And he was brought down by Derek Hill, the All-American out of McClymonds High. Derek Hill.
This is 2nd and 15.
4:31 left in the second quarter. McClymonds is holding on to a 19-0 lead.
Pro set, slot to the right. Looks to bring a blitz. Oh, McCrady and he shovels the ball. And it's oh my goodness, that was one of the most awkward plays ever. Looks as though McCrady he was going for a pass. He shoveled the ball to Seth Smith. Seth could not get a handle on the ball. It bounced out of his hands, almost into the hands of an awaiting McClymonds defender who couldn't hold on to the ball, and he dropped it for an incomplete pass.
Fortunately for Tech, it was incomplete. A lot of guys had their hands on the ball, including some McClymonds players.
Yeah, this is we have to wonder what's really going to happen through the course of this game because Oakland Tech is really not taking care of this ball. We thought that it was going to change as the beginning of the kickoff, you know, for the opening jitters and everything. That was for the kickoff, but now it seems to be the same story. The pro set looks to be the blitz. They ran a receiver screen. Smith number 5 could not hold on to the ball. Bernard Scott, once again, he's not having the type of day that he would have wanted to have. So far, he's dropped 2 big passes to give his team that momentum that they needed. This forced Oakland Tech to punt.
We talked about execution earlier, and unfortunately, the Oakland Tech offense is not executing. We can see McClymonds is, so that's the key to this game right now.
You can't have that when you're dealing with David and Goliath. You have to take advantage of McClymonds' mistakes, which they don't seem to be making any at the time. So Coach Alonzo Carter got his team playing.
And it is gained at the 30, 43-yard line and it's tackled at approximately.
James Johnson on the punt return.
No yards and on that touchdown.
Also putting McClymonds also in good driving range here as they're going to start off on the on their own 48-yard line. 48-yard line.
Yeah, this is a pretty good. This is a short field for McClymonds. This is a longer field than what they have been used to working with tonight, but there's a field you don't want to have, you know, this is approximately like 60 yards for McClymonds to work with in order to get a touchdown. Maybe this might be enough yardage for that Oakland Tech defense to step up big. We have a slot formation, I slot formation. The pass is rushed to number 9. He gets 1 foot down. Does he call him inbound?
Did you give it to him, James Brown? Did he get the reception?
He did not.
He did not.
Incomplete pass.
And as we see the referee trip over himself on the field. Watch it, Coach. Once again, that was not a complete pass, and that brings up 2nd and 10.
Oakland Tech got some pressure on the quarterback there. Unfortunately, it allowed him to roll out of the pocket and throw an errant pass. Incomplete.
Though it is 19 on the scoreboard, this Oakland Tech defense is playing stout, considering that there are two All-Americans, I believe, on the McClymonds offensive side of the ball right now, and they only have 19 on the board, and this is by way of turnovers, so this is real big. I formation. Johnson slides back for the screen. Oh, and they're all over it. Oakland Tech is crushed.
Anthony Gaddis read that really well.
He had a good beat on number 1 from the beginning for a good 7-yard loss.
Once again, we can't give too much credit to this Oakland Tech defense. They are playing very, very, very good football. As we said, man, it's only 19-0 here, and in the second quarter. So, by virtue of 19-0, by the way, by virtue of 2 Oakland Tech turnovers.
As the clock continues to wind on down with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left in the second quarter, McClymonds is up 19-0.
McClymonds comes out once again with that single back, trips to the right, to the open field formation. This is to confuse the coverage. Johnson's dropping back. Oh, and he gives a draw. Oh, and he's going for it. And he rumbles down, runs over 2 Oakland Tech defenders to gain back all of that yardage. And now it's 4th down and 2.
Rico Thomas on the draw.
This is one of those things that a coach does in order to spread out a defense. Alonzo called this play so that the defense could spread out and it's focus its attention on all the receivers that's there and allow the lanes, the running lanes for the running back to open up, giving him more options, and that springing him for a big play.
Timeout call by McClymonds. An excellent call, by the way, by Alonzo Carter. That was an excellent call. Sets him up for a 4th and 3.
Definitely, because the way this game has been going is we've been getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and in order to alleviate that pressure, you need to run draws and screens. And this one time, Alonzo ran a screen, but it did not work, and then he came right back and ran a draw play, which worked for approximately like 20 yards. So that's credit to the awareness of Alonzo Carter, also sticking with his program, and he also sees that there is a lot of pressure, and he doesn't want his quarterback to be making those type of reads under that intense pressure. So just give it off to the running back and let him do what he can do.
In addition to that, when you have not 1, not 2, but 3 excellent running backs, or guys who can make it happen in the open field, that was a great call.
Yeah.
Now what Tech needs to do here is they must not allow McClymonds to get another point. They cannot allow them to score with it being 19-0 here, ending almost the end of the second quarter.
Now, see, this is a big thing right here because they just ran a draw for around 20 yards, and now they're going for it on 4th and 2. What do you think Oakland Tech is doing? They're stacking that box. And they are going, and it looks as though they may have stopped them.
I don't know.
Don't think they made it. I do not think they made it.
I did see Johnson with that second effort trying to jump out of the arms of that Oakland Tech defender, but I don't think that he might have made it.
I think it's going to be based on where the ref marks the ball.
Got to call that 1st down, Oakland Tech.
Oh, Oakland Tech gets the big stop. Now, as we've been saying all day, this Oakland Tech defense is playing above and beyond their potential. If not for those 2 turnovers, McClymonds will only have 7 points on this board. So big credit to the Oakland Tech defense. They're stepping up big time. They're putting a lot of guys in that box. They're going one-on-one outside with the receivers, and they're shutting them down. Now, the reason this is big is because we have big play receivers for McClymonds, so that's really saying a lot for the DBs of Oakland Tech.
You got 1:49 left. It would be it'd be great for Oakland Tech, on Oakland Tech's part, to score a touchdown and get it close by halftime.
Yeah, with 1 minute and 49 seconds left in the second quarter. They have plenty of time to do it. They got great field position. They're on the 48 line, their own 48-yard line, so they got a chance to do it.
Looks like Alonzo is getting his team together, just going over these last-minute adjustments because his offense just turned over the ball to Oakland Tech, and that was real big, seeing as though he did have faith in his offense and said that he was going to go for it on a 4th and 2, and it got stopped. So this kind of stops the momentum for McClymonds. So now it seems as though Carter's on the field trying to get his players together, because this is a big turnover for Oakland Tech, because if Oakland Tech can possibly put together a drive, this can give them that motivation, that spring, that energy that they need going into halftime to come out in the second half and maybe come out with an upset. This is still not a far-fetched idea. And they run some sort of an option play to number 5, get him in his hand, and he has the 1st down and some.
And he gets out of bounds, I believe, to stop the clock.
Stopping the clock.
Big heads-up play by Bernard Scott. No, he didn't get out of bounds as the clock continues to tick off. I think they stopped it because they had to move the chain.
Definitely. Bernard Scott, once with his carry, first carry of the day, and he goes for approximately 12 yards. We have a one back, four receiver formation. 1-on-1 on the outside. They're trying to get it to Bernard Scott, and it goes through the hands of Mr. Scott as he's leaping to get an acrobatic catch. See, this is a real big play receiver. I see that Oakland Tech continues to go to Bernard Scott because they know the potential of what he can do. I, too, can see the potential of this kid because they gave him the ball for a handoff. He runs for a good 12 yards, and this is a very impressive McClymonds Warriors defense, so you have to give a lot of credit to number 5. Maybe he can get himself into this game, into the rhythm of the game. He already has 3 drops today. I don't know. Maybe he needs to go into halftime, get a couple of water or something. McCrady throws it to a swing pass to Seth Smith to the left-hand side, but it looks as though he was a little too anxious, threw the ball with a little too much heat on it. Seth couldn't get there. It was also McClymonds Warriors waiting for him.
Thank goodness he did throw that ball because he had some backside pressure. Well, the defensive end was just about to converge on the quarterback.
Definitely. Stephen Roseman, he had a beat on him, and it looked as though he was going to make himself a very good play for negative yards.
As we're down to a 3rd down, ball's on the 41-yard line.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 10, so obviously we all know that it's going to probably be a pass, but we never really do know. Once again, they got that 4 receiver, 1 back in the backfield. McCrady's dropping it back to pass as he's going for the number 4. Oh, and it's a big hit by the McClymonds safety. Rico Thomas says, "Excuse me, son, that's my ball."
He had it for a brief moment.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That was a big catch by number 4 of Oakland Tech, Godfrey Smith, but he could not hold on to the ball as Rico Thomas separated ball from chest.
Well, we've seen Rico Thomas on I checked that. They call that a catch.
Oh, my goodness, that's a big call.
Well, it didn't look like that. Thank goodness they ain't got instant replay.
I think we need to go to the booth on this one right here.
You ain't never lying.
I actually thought I saw the ball dismantled from
we all saw the ball
But you know, hey, we don't have the stripes on today. We're only up here in the booth, so we can only call the game. Call it how we see it. So it's a complete pass. McCrady is motioning number 11 to give it a trips formation to the right as he gives it to, and the ball goes right through the wide receiver.
Alonzo Walker. Alonzo Walker was the intended receiver.
Looked not to be ready for that pass, but he was open. Looks like Oakland Tech tried to capitalize on McClymonds, and this was a bad call by the officials. Oakland Tech tried to capitalize on the momentum. They could not with the incomplete pass, so now it seems as though it's 1 minute and 11 seconds on the clock, and there's a timeout on the field.
That was a big play right there, and there was an opportunity for Tech. Now let's see if Tech can capitalize on this opportunity. They got to get inside that end zone.
That was an opportunity, but they have a couple more. The only second down here, and Oakland Tech's gotten themselves down in scoring position, which is what they want to do here. 1:11 left before halftime. They're in an excellent position here, 19-0. Get a score, they're right back into this game.
Right, and must I not forget to mention to you guys that this is only 19-0. Now, if Oakland Tech can possibly muster up, let's say they don't get a touchdown, and they can muster up 5 or 6 extra yards. If they can kick a field goal from here, it'll be 16-3. It'll be a 16-point differential.
Right.
And so that will going into halftime. That's only like a 2 touchdowns. You got 2 touchdowns. You plug it in there, and you're right back into the game. So really, they're not downside. They just need a little bit of something to spark their enthusiasm and their motivation for that second half. It's going to be real big if they want to win this game.
And not only that, one thing I do know about Coach Dale Edwards is he's a good second-half player, coach. He's going to make the proper adjustments, but they must try to get something out of this.
Oakland Tech on the 17-yard line with the empty backfield. Scott motions to the backfield as they run another. It seems to be an option play to the running back, who's a wing guy to the left-hand side, but that really didn't fool anybody.
Hill was there waiting for him.
Yeah,
All-American Hill.
Smith has been getting banged around here a little bit all game, and so I don't know what they're going to do with that run play right there. Maybe they need to
veer away from that a little bit and go back to the more traditional running back in the backfield type of deal.
Well, that play worked early in the game for big yardage, but that time McClymonds was ready.
Right.
Coach Del Nevers was not impressed with that call at all, so he wanted to call a timeout to really talk to his team and get these guys really motivated so they can get inside that end zone.
Yeah, but we also have to realize that, you know, the run is not what actually got them down here. You know, it was the pass. So maybe because of the yardage is being reduced, that they don't have the ability to go deep for a big threat, and they have to run shorter routes is why they're going to the running game, or maybe it's because of the defense or whatever the case is, but they veered away from the pass and they went to the run, and it has not been productive for them. So maybe they need to go back to it, but it is 3rd and 15 now.
Well, we'll see if Coach Edwards has a red zone play to score a touchdown on this one. He certainly needs it right now.
Oakland Tech is on McClymonds' own 20-yard line, hoping to make a big play. We have a single back in the backfield, 4 wide receivers. He's dropping back to pass for a wide receiver screen to Vizard Scott as he goes with an angle breaking cut to the left-hand side to pick up 3 or 4 extra yards as he leaves McClymonds Warriors dead in his track.
But he's short of the first down by about 3 yards.
And no timeouts either. They got to rush up to the line of scrimmage to get another play off.
35 seconds and running on the clock. Looks as though McCrady is going for it, and he was a little confused right there. And it's a run play to Seth Smith for a big touchdown. Holy smokes! Looks like Coach Edwards has the recipe for McClymonds, which is catching him off guard with that quick count, giving it to Seth Smith for the big yard up the middle. That was a big touchdown.
Well, Coach Edwards, he is a football player as well as Alonzo Carter. So these guys are like playing like the little Madden game right now. It's a game of chess, not checkers.
Absolutely.
Very impressive drive, and was a very impressive last play there. Those kids got up to the line of scrimmage, called their play, kept their composure. Even though the quarterback got behind the guard, he got his composure, got behind the center, handed off for a touchdown.
And the extra point is good.
Made by 88.
That extra point snuck under.
Christopher Armstead.
Snuck over, I should say.
Christopher Armstead on the PAT, as we now have a score of 7-19 with 24 seconds left in the 25th Lou Jones Silver Bowl.
As we talked about, this is exactly what Oakland Tech needs to get back in this game. Here you are, 19-7 going into halftime.
Right, that was a big score by the running back, Seth Smith. This allowed his team to get, you know, a little bit of momentum behind itself going into the locker room. It's still 24 seconds on the clock, though. So what they need to do is kick off to McClymonds, make sure that they tackle him inbounds and play out the rest of this clock so that they can go into the locker room knowing that there's only a 12-point differential between the two teams.
Right.
This is after Oakland Tech stopped McClymonds from scoring. So this is really a big plus for Oakland Tech on both sides of the ball. Their defense is playing good. Their offense just scored. So who knows how the outcome of this game is going to be.
Now that they stopped him on 4th and 2 at midfield and took over.
That's a big confidence breaker right there.
Although it was a suspect call.
That is absolutely true. That catch by number 4, Terrence McCoy, when he caught the ball over there, when he caught the ball on the sidelines. No, excuse me, that's Godfrey Smith. Godfrey Smith, when he caught the ball on the sideline, it looked as though he actually dropped the ball after the devastating hit by Mr. Rico Thomas. After that hit, it looked as though he dropped the ball, but the official still gave him the catch, and therefore allowing Oakland Tech to score.
And
Oakland Tech squibbed the kick once again.
Great kick.
And the ball is still live with Oakland Tech and McClymonds defenders in the pile. Who knows? It looks as though the Oakland Tech has the ball.
19 seconds left, Mike.
Another scoring opportunity for Oakland Tech. They can ask for a better opportunity there.
I really don't know what's going on with this McClymonds team. They're actually, it seems, must be getting too cocky. I don't know what's going on. They're deviating from their basic fundamentals, which is to recover the ball and protect the ball. And I just don't see how they're trying to hold on to this lead with things like this happening to them.
I'll tell you, that was a great squib kick there. That was a Sebastian Janikowski type kick there that got away.
Right.
That was a great kick.
Now, what do you do here, though?
Serious English on it.
What do you do, though? What do you do? You throw? You got to throw.
Oh, you got to throw. 19 seconds, no timeouts.
No timeouts on the clock. Empty backfield.
Bernard Scott got one-on-one.
McCray is going deep. Bernard Scott. No, it's not Bernard. Oh! Rico Thomas with a big hit as McCoy gets the Stephen Blackwell with the interception, and he's running down the sidelines all the way into the 50 and pushed out on the sidelines. Big play, Stephen Blackwell spot.
Well, you knew it was going to be an interception because that ball was hanging up there for seconds.
Yeah, Stephen Blackwell was the only one that seemed to be aware of what was going on. After Rico with his second big hit of the game on number 4, Godfrey Smith. I don't know what you're doing, Rico. You need to stop picking on Mr. Smith. This is a football game. There's other guys out there. But anyway, after the big hit, the ball was in the air. It seemed as though Stephen was the only player that was observant enough to gather himself and get that interception, as it was a couple of other offensive guys around the ball.
I know Rico Thomas is an excellent running back, but I tell you what, he's definitely showing himself on defense here tonight.
I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to be a receiver out there. 4
seconds left in the second quarter. I think Max is going to sit on it, and they take the knee.
And McClymonds, they're going into the locker room with this. This is a big game right here. 19-7.
It don't get no better than what it is right now, viewers. And
as you hear the crowd yelling for their favorite players, their favorite team.
And for myself, Mike Taylor, Omar Nazel, it's been one heck of a first half. Both coaches are going to go into halftime and make the proper adjustments. So on that note, we're going to give our viewers a chance to go do what they got to do. We're going to give you 3 minutes. If you go with this quick PSA with Dr. Moore Adams.
I'm Dr. Moore Adams, Medical Director of the OAL Football. Today we're going to share information about one of the most common conditions seen in sports, muscle cramps. Have you ever experienced a Charlie horse? If you have, you probably remember that sudden, intense pain and tightness caused by a muscle locked in spasm. Muscle cramps are involuntary muscle contractions that do not relax until proper treatment is given. Skeletal muscles that span 2 joints are most prone to cramping. Cramps may involve part or whole of a muscle. Cramps may well cause an athlete to temporarily stop activity, but they generally have no serious long-term effects. The most common affected muscle groups are the back of the lower leg or calf, known as the gastrocnemius, the back of the thigh, called the hamstrings, and the front of the thigh, which are the quadriceps. Although the exact cause of muscle cramps is unknown, there are several factors associated with them. Researchers believe that inadequate stretching and muscle fatigue lead to abnormalities in the mechanisms that control muscle contraction. Other significant factors include extreme heat, dehydration, and electrolyte imbalance. Heat cramps are also more likely to occur in hot weather because profuse sweating drains the athlete's body of fluids, as well as salt and minerals like calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Loss of these nutrients may then cause muscles to cramp. Most cramps usually go away. However, treatment and prevention are important to keep the athlete healthy. So, what do you do when you get a muscle cramp? First, stop doing whatever activity triggered the cramp. This may just be a temporary halt. Gently stretch the affected muscle until twitching or the contraction subsides. Drink fluids right away. You may apply heat to tense or tight muscles or cold to tender and sore muscles depending upon the situation. Prevention is the key to avoiding future cramps. It is important that the athlete works toward better overall fitness and conditioning. Do regular flexibility exercises before and after you work out to stretch muscle groups most prone to cramping. Always warm up before stretching. Drink water regularly and sports beverages that contain electrolytes to help keep nutrients in your body. While most muscle cramps are benign and go away, sometimes they can indicate a serious medical condition. See your doctor if cramps are severe, happen frequently, respond poorly to conservative treatments, or are not related to obvious factors like strenuous exercise and heat.
Hey viewers, we're back here and we found a special guest out there in the audience there. We found Kurt Morrison here, and we're going to let Omar, since he's getting his feet, we're going to let Omar chop it up with Kurt real quick, and so just do what you do, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely beautiful to see my partner in the mix again. So really, let's refresh, you know what I mean? I know you played at Bishop O'Dowd, am I correct? So then what happened after there?
After playing at O'Dowd, I played 3 years there, got a scholarship to San Diego State.
Okay.
Went there, had a good career there, and then I got drafted to the Raiders.
Is that right? So this past year, we've been seeing a lot of Mr. Morrison on the field. So how do we've as fans, we've seen you, emerge into a prominent figure of the Oakland Raiders. So how does that feel firsthand, being from the Oakland area, you know what I'm saying, playing in Oakland, and now being able to be an Oakland Raider? How does that feel as a person?
Man, it feel good, man. Yeah. You know, especially growing up here. You know how it is. When you grow up and you've been in the Bay Area your whole life, just being in Oakland, coming out here, just all the festivities for the game, it's like, man, I'm back at home, and it just feels good. So I feel, you know, really comfortable with being a Raider, just because I'm out there with my family, you know, my friends and everybody I grew up with.
I feel you. You know, it's definitely amazing to come out here and play on your own fields, grass and everything, and to see your home city on the grass. So,
yeah.
You know, what is the most, I guess, eye-opening experience for you as a player does the NFL have to offer?
Man,
in your experience?
In my opinion, just when I first got to the league, you know, just like when you was in college and high school, the guys you would always see on TV.
Yeah, right.
You see them on TV,
The
like,
Randy
man,
Mosses,
the
the
Randy
Michael
Mosses,
Vicks.
Michael Vicks. You know, I'm on a team with Charles Woodson and Warren Sapp. And when you're in high school and college, you're looking like, man, one day I want to be there. And the next thing you know, you sit in the huddle with Charles.
And he's like, dog, let me get the audible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My man, can you tell me to play? I need to know to play so I can line up. You know what I'm saying?
That's
but I definitely understand what you're talking about, because it's a totally different experience, especially being you a linebacker.
Right.
You have to basically, you're orchestrating the defense. You're shouting out huddle calls. You're seeing the formation shift, and you're giving the audibles to the lineman. And these are people who may have been playing in the league longer than you ever even was born. No, but that's an overstatement. Right. Yeah, they've been in the league for a long time, and they're veterans, and they're well respected.
That's one thing. I mean, the first day when I got to camp, it was like that. You know, it was like, man, Charles Woodson's out there, and, you know, I'm letting him know what's the huddle call. So every week it's just been something new with me, being out there with some of the guys I grew up watching.
It's definitely been a pleasure, a chance to get you up here in the booth and show these Oakland cats out here that, you know, it is light at the end of the tunnel, and this is just a pit stop in the road of life, you know?
Well, we're going to keep Kurt up here because Mike wants to chop it up with you and ask you some community-type questions. But one question I want to ask you before we get this kickoff going in 30-something seconds, what's your outtake on this game thus far?
Hard-hitting game already. You know, right now, McClymonds had a lot to prove, being that this is the Silver Bowl that they want to win. You know, they got a lot of rankings ahead of this. You know, they feel like they should be ranked higher in the Bay Area right now, and especially in the state. So they got a lot of catching up to do in the rankings, because they should be a top 5 team in the state, no doubt.
Well, according to this game, as you see it thus far, how do you feel? Do you think that they actually have a real legitimate spot at getting the #1 shot? Do you think that they deserve the #3 spot? What about your opinion?
I think at least they're top 1-2 team in the Bay right now. You know, I mean, they went down, they played, you know, teams down in Los Angeles and Dorsey and Crenshaw, and they fared well. And I don't think there's a team right now in the Bay Area, you know, that can contend with them. I mean, I know San Leandro and De La Salle are the top teams right now, and, you know, got to see tomorrow night when those two teams tangle.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, Kurt's going to just hang out up here with us and give us his insights, as well as Mike Taylor, the Oakland Raiders Public Relations Department. And you viewers are in for a thriller, because, like, the score is now 19-7. We're going into the third quarter, and it's going to be a barn burner, so you viewers don't go nowhere.
It looks like Oakland Tech's coming out once again in their all teams. See, this is basically what teams do when they want to show a big team unity type of deal, and they bring out all of their teammates for the captain's call when they're talking about which direction the ball is going in this deal. It's supposed to be a big intimidating factor for the opposing players. But who knows how this will play out in this game.
One thing I want to do, I want to talk about Kurt. You know, Kurt Morrison is one of our more active players involved in community activities. He's one of our very active players in community. And it's good to see him out here. I mean, these young people out here, Omar, as you said, I mean, it's great to see Kurt out here. They know that they can really get to that level. Kurt, what are your feelings about really being involved in community activities?
I mean, I try to do as much as I can. You know, especially this being Oakland, my home. You know, this is the city I grew up in, born and raised in. And, you know, I come out to events like this. I've been going to the Silver Bowl, I mean, ever since I knew what a football was. You know, this has been a game that was, you know, traditionally always the Friday after Thanksgiving, and it was something I always looked forward to. I remember seeing Omar playing in the game, you know. That's how far I go back, you know. But, you know, I just remember just seeing that game and the tradition of this game, and just also just being around in Oakland and some of the community activities that we do. You know, I want to give back to what Oakland has given me.
As I said, it's your first year in the league. You've given a lot back here. Your first year, as I said, you're one of our most active players in the community, and we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, that's no problem for me. I just feel like I got to give back because Oakland's given me so much. And, right now I'm just trying to go out there and get them as many victories as I can on the football team as, doing okay, having an okay season, but could be better.
Definitely. Well, Oakland, Texas lining up, seeing as though they're going to be kicking off for the second half. McClymonds is set to gain possession of the football. We must remember that it's still a 7-19 ball game.
In addition to that, now I want to see what coaches went in and made the proper adjustments at halftime. So you're about to see a real intensified
Oakland Tech comes out with that same squid kick as they ended the half with, hoping for the same results, but it doesn't. Number 13.
Kyler O'Neal, Kenny O'Neal's brother.
Oh, is that right?
Kenny O'Neal's brother.
Well, he comes up with the reception.
Unfortunately, that swift kick gave McClymonds excellent field position on their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, that is the drawbacks to the squib.
Man, I wouldn't have came out. I wouldn't have opened up the half with that because you don't want to put McClymonds in a scoring type situation position. I would want them to start like back at the 20.
Yeah, I think they were more or less looking on the opposite side, trying to get the ball, and they wanted to come out once again and get them off sides and get them off guard like they have been doing, like the score that they had, So that was their theme for today's game. It's an I formation, looks to be double tight, and they run the ball to Griffin to the left-hand side. He sees a little bit of daylight, but only gets to the line of scrimmage as he's tackled by number 25 as he does his little get high feet, 21.
21 Mainman. I played with Mainman at Oakland High, so I got a lot of kids out there that's playing that I play with their dads. Delton played with me in high school. I mean, it's McCoy.
Well, Mr. Mainman must have been a real hyphy player because I see number 21 exhibiting his hyphiness skills.
It's a great day for some football on this beautiful autumn night here at the Coliseum. So, Kurt, what do you plan to see in this half right here? What do you think both coaches told their teams at halftime?
Double tight I formation.
I think right now, Coach Alonzo Carter, he's going to try to set the tone this second half by just running the football. He wants to get the game back on track and let them start controlling. As we speak, he run the ball right up the middle, and nobody's going to catch him. That's a touchdown. Nobody's going to catch him.
That's a big play by Griffin.
I mean, that's the tone that they're going to set the rest of the game right there. It's a long touchdown run, and I don't think that Oakland Tech's going to be able to come back. They had their one big play in the beginning of at the end of the second half, and I don't think they can keep up with this Oakland McClymonds team.
Once again, Griffin is up the middle for approximately 55 yards. Now, this is his third touchdown of the game. Now, as we said before, you had to get a control on Mr. Griffin before he started running loose and running rampant into the secondary. But on this time, it seemed that the blocking allowed for him to get a straight line into the secondary. Once he was in the secondary, he exhibited his speed and he burst to the end zone, and it was a curtain call after that. So now it's 26 to 27.
You have to give credit to that McClymonds offensive line. They blew an enormous hole that allowed the running back to run untouched in the end zone.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened. As for Griffin's second touchdown, when he was around the 20-yard line and he broke to the left-hand side, and it was the hole was gaping wide. So maybe it's the defensive line of Oakland Tech that they're possibly getting fatigued and they're not being as disciplined as they were being in the beginning of the ball game, which is allowing for these big plays to happen. We were saying that the defense was the stronghold of this team so far, and they're seeming to let this running game, break them down by getting these little 2 and 3 yards and then 5 yards, and then allowing these big plays on top of the little yards that they're gaining to just kill them.
Kurt, what is it like for you to see here we're at the McAfee Coliseum, here the Raiders logo. What is it like for you to see these kids out here performing here at the Coliseum?
I mean, I know it's a dream of theirs to go out there on that field and see guys, in the pros out there playing on Sundays, and for them to be out there, you kind of live out your dream. I remember, when I was in high school, I always wanted to be able to play here at the Coliseum, but, yeah, we wanted to play Skyline. Skyline would always Doug O'Dowd, but I don't want to start that war up. But
ladies and gentlemen, he's teasing. This is a squib kick by McClymonds, and they can't get a hold of the ball. Oakland Tech. Bernard Scheich grabs a hold of the ball, sees some daylight. He breaks to the 40-yard line as he is stumbled up at the 45-yard line. Oakland Tech will be approaching with their offensive line. Well, yeah. So, us Oakland, everybody in Oakland, as we were growing up, when we were back in the day, Skyline and Bishop O'Dowd were the perennial powerhouses of their day. Right. And because they were in two different leagues,
people used to say that, you know, one of the other team was dodging each other. How come we never got a chance to meet him in a game before? Hold on. I formation.
Yeah, let's get this play off here. I'll call it I formation, first down, gain of 2 yards. You guys can get back to that thought.
Yeah, so why did not? Well, how come the Skyline Titans never got a chance to meet the Bishopville Down Dragons?
I think it's because we had, you know, two of the best high school coaches that ever coached in this area, and John Beam and Paul Perrinon, who, you know, who always scheduled really hard, really tough.
Definitely. That's a real big game because, you know, these two perennial powerhouses were back in the day the Oakland team. Smith gets the carry to the left-hand side, and he breaks free for a first down as he's tackled by Mr. Rico Thomas. We've been calling his name a lot today.
First down and 10 at McClymonds' 45-yard line.
And although Rico is the offensive threat for McClymonds, he has put up some tremendous big hits in this ball game today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he has got my vote. I think I'm going to have to send this tape in to Ford. ESPN's jacked up because he has 2 big hits on number 4, Godfrey Smith. I hate to be calling you out like that, Mr. Smith, but, you know, you're probably going to need some Tylenol after this game because that boy was laying a hat. It's a 4-receiver set. McCrady is looking deep for the open Jameel Banks, and he has it for the first down reception. Mr. Banks is trying to recover from his earlier fumbles, and now he's showing the team that he has those sure hands. And look at him. He wants to go back in the game, but coach is taking him out, and he's jumping on the sidelines like, man, I'm ready, coach. Put me in. What's happening? Let's do this.
That's one thing when you look at this McClymonds defense, that's the one weak spot that they have is in the secondary. They have big guys up front that can stop the run, but Oakland Tech wants to control them by having these 4 wide receivers and try to pass them out. Right now, McClymonds can stop the run all day long.
Right, big hit by number 76.
It's in the passing game. So look for McClymonds to start playing a lot of cover 2 deep just to get the safeties back, try to help out the corners.
Derek Hill has been very impressive this game. He has a couple of hurries. He has been batting passes down. You know, he hasn't really got in there for his own solo sack, but he has been a factoring force in today's game. And he is one of the top-ranked defensive players in the state. That's real big, seeing as though he went down to USC Trojan Camp unannounced. This is from what I gathered from Coach Carter, and he went down there and turned the program out, had Coach Carroll doing backflips over this gentleman from West Oakland. 4 wide receiver, Bernard Scott motions to the left-hand side. McCrady sends a shot to number 18 as he's bullied down for a gain of 8 yards.
I don't think McClymonds is going to have an answer for this wide open spread offense of Oakland Tech. Right now, the run, they can stop the run, but the pass is where it's going to hurt them. If McClymonds is going to win this football game, they're going to have to stop Oakland Tech in this passing game.
There's been some key adjustments by Oakland Tech because that first half they were pounding it up the middle. As Kurt, as you said, now they're spreading out their offense and having some success.
With 8:30 seconds left in the third quarter, McClymonds is winning 26-7.
Dante Franklin with that last reception. 4 wide receivers, 1 in the backfield. Seth Smith, and he gets that handoff once again for a good 2 yards. Maybe not the first down. Looks as though he was tackled by Mr. 56. Herschel Willingham, first team All-City.
If you just look out on that field, you look at the massive defensive linemen of McClymonds High School. These guys are just huge. You know, when you look out there, I don't think Tech is going to have much success trying to run the football. Look for him right here to try to go deep, try to go over the top over on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. McCrady is going in for the sneak on the first down. I believe he already had the first down. I really don't know what that play was calling for, but it seemed as though the ref already had the first down, and he was going for the first down with a quarterback sneak. So maybe it was a little bit of a confusion going on down there, but whatever. It's second down and goal. I have a question for you, Kirk. Now, remember back in the day when we were playing, do you think that the size of the players now were the same size, bigger or smaller than they were when you were playing?
I think the size now is a lot bigger and is more athletic. You know, I remember
Bernard Scott with the catch, breaks 2 tackles as he rumbles down to the 2-yard line.
I remember we're a little bit smaller but very athletic, and now these guys you got guys who are weighing 300 pounds and can run like a linebacker nowadays. So, I think now we have a lot more bigger guys, but back then we were much more talented, I would say. I got to give us credit too now.
And I want to also add to that question too, because I came out in 1981, and one thing I noticed about today's is you guys got the muscle building you know, masses and stuff like that, which they didn't have back then. So I think the guys there are just a little bit bigger than what you guys played out there. I know you came out 99, Omar.
Yes, I did. It's 3rd and 3. 3 wide receiver formation, I back. It's a slot formation, play action. McCrady is going for the pass in end zone. Number 4 catches that. Did he get both? And the ref said he was out of bounds. Godfrey Smith held on to the ball this time, and he did not get a chance to drag 1 foot down. Maybe we need to go to the booth because he's slapping his head talking about, I don't feel that one.
Well, the official was right on that, so I assume he made the right call. At least he was right in the right position, the official, that is.
Well, if we bring this up last time with Mr. Godfrey Smith, the last catch he caught was a no catch, but the ref called it a catch. So maybe this is a makeup call. We got our eye on you, Mr. Ref. It's 4th and 3. Play action by McCrady, throws it into the end zone once again to Smith, and it is deflected this time by McClymonds defender, number 8, Roy Holmes. He also is statured to be the first team all-city of the OAL, and that was a big pass breakup for McClymonds because Oakland Tech was threatening to score on the 3-yard line.
What is the mindset there? McClymonds had a goal line stand there. What is the mindset there on the goal line stand? The guys, they're right there. What do you guys think about that?
Well, McClymonds got that long run on Oakland Tech. The Tech vendetta was to go down there and try to go down and get a big play, get a score. But right now, McClymonds has all the momentum, and then you put 90 yards away from a touchdown. Now I think McClymonds is going to drive this thing all the way down and try to wear him out. I mean, if you look at both sides of the field right now, McClymonds has much more depth than the Oakland Tech team, and this drive right here can actually seal the game.
Double tight, giving off to Griffin, and he runs to the left-hand side, sees daylight, gets the first down, 5 extra, maybe even 10. No, I'd say that's 9 extra yards, a run of 19 yards to the left-hand side. I mean, Willie Griffin is having an amazing game today. I really can't say enough about this kid. He's running in between the tackles. He's running the tosses to the end of the outside of the tackles. He's stiff-arming kids. He's going for the 2nd yards. He's getting hit. He has to have after first hit yards. I mean, this kid is doing everything. I really don't understand it today. They don't have an answer.
And to think he was the 3rd leading rusher for McClymonds this year.
How about that? How about that? It's a double tight. No, it's not double tight formation. Running back. Oh, and it's a bust up the middle by number 4, Terrence McCoy, and he could go all the way. Touchdown, McClymonds Warriors, as that run by Terrence McCoy symbolizes the run that McClymonds is making on for this championship. This is 14 unanswered points. I really don't know what to say about this game right now.
Well, not only that, that shows that McClymonds has depth at running back. We talked about it earlier. They had a 3-prong attack at running back. We see that now.
Right. We were speaking real highly of Willie Griffin. He scored. He's the leading rusher in this game. But Terrence McCoy also is showing that he's one of the best running backs around.
And McCoy is the 2nd leading rusher for McClymonds.
Well, I can't wait to see the first.
Well, it just goes to show you that Coach Carter went in and made the proper adjustments. He's seen a weakness in the Bulldogs' defense, and he's exploiting it right now.
Yeah, it seems as though they're going to. They're breaking down that defensive line, and I was saying this earlier. I was hoping that it wasn't true, but that offensive line of McClymonds is really wearing down on the defense. Now, Curtis, you could tell us more about how the offensive line, like you know how they say when you go against a big offensive line like a Kansas City or some guys like that versus a Denver Broncos type of defensive line, how that offensive line wears down on you as a defense. Explain to the audience.
Well, I know when you're facing Kansas City, they got some big guys up there, and they try to wear you down. But when you get a team like Denver, the offensive linemen are a little bit smaller and
more
quicker,
athletic,
and they're more athletic, so they get to you a little bit faster. And the thing is, when you have 2 great backs, which both those teams do, Kansas City and Priest Holmes and Larry Johnson, and then Denver has Tatum Bell and also Mike Anderson and also Ron Dane, who had a big game against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. So when you have 2 great backs that can keep coming in back and forth, and the offensive linemen who are in great shape. I mean, Kansas City and Denver, they make sure that these guys are in shape, and when they come at you play after play after play, it can take a toll on the defense.
Especially if they have that upper hand in the fight. It's always a difference between the defense when you go out there and set the tone on a running back, when you smash the old lineman, like the first couple of plays, and then they know what type of game it's going to be. But if you let them get that advantage, Oakland Tech survives this squib kick on the 42-yard line.
And it seems to put Tech now has, to me, this is good field position. And let's see if they can come down and capitalize and put themselves back in the game. Because as of right now, it's 33-7 with 5 minutes and 55 seconds left in the third quarter on the 25th Lou Jones Silver Bowl.
Correct. Like we were saying, like when you allow a big offensive line to get the advantage on you by getting a couple of good licks on you in the opening drive, that gives them that attitude that they need to continue to be beasting throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
Whereas when you hit them in the mouth the first drive, then they already know what type of game it's going to be, that you're not going to let up, and they're just going to have to deal with you smacking them in the mouth. Now this is the 3-receiver set. Godfrey Smith motions to the left-hand side as they hand the ball off to Seth, and he's going for a couple of 3, maybe 4 yards, as he's dragged down by the McClymonds defense.
Oakland Tech's been challenging that middle of the line all night, and they've been challenged with not a whole lot of success, unfortunately.
Especially with Derek Hill. I mean, I was down at McClymonds practice yesterday, and just talking with Coach Carter about Derek Hill. He's selected to play in the U.S. Army game. And that's a big feat for a guy. Coming from Oakland. Really athletic for his size. I mean, just to be that big and can play off of his teammates and play both sides of the football. I mean, I don't know if there's any way that you can get around him if you're at Oakland Tech.
And I'm hoping that will inspire these other Oakland athletes to follow in Hill's footsteps so we can get some more people out there playing in that All-American game.
Oh yeah, definitely. But see, you also have to realize that he's and they're passing it to Godfrey, and he spins, breaks a tackle, and he gets to the line of scrimmage maybe 2 or 3 yards ahead of that. Now, once again, like I was saying, the players like this, like Derek Hill and like Mr. Rico Thomas and like the Darius Ward, these type of players allow exposures for more players to get to that level, as I did for players like this. I'm not saying that I'm anybody special, but when you allow people, when people come and pick one guy out of here, they say, why isn't there another guy that's just as good? And then they continue to come back. So really, it's just a blessing in itself to have these type of athletes from McClymonds go to this highly credentialed all-star game. It's just giving Oakland public schools athletes more recognition. Oh, and Jamil Banks motions to the right-hand side as they hand off the ball to number 2 of Oakland Tech, Stephen.
Number 2
Damian
is
Hodges. Damian Hodges goes for the first down. A good 6 yards, 6 or 7.
The one thing about Oakland Tech, we got to say, this Oakland Tech team is not quit. They're not quit at all. They're still fighting. They got a first down here. They're still fighting. They're still playing this game. So,
well, Omar, something that you said a little while ago, you don't got to brag on yourself, but I will brag for you. I followed you out throughout your high school career, and one thing I will say, you was one of the better OAL players to come out of Oakland, so you did put us on the map by representing us well at USC.
Oh, yeah, I definitely appreciate that, but, I'm sitting next to Kurt Morrison, my idol right now, you know what I'm saying? And that's no sarcasm about it, though. I really respect what he's doing. He's really doing it big for Oakland Raiders, and that's just he's a benchmark for athletes like myself and other cats, like me from Oakland to aspire to do great things. And I firsthand want to say thank you, and I appreciate for all the good that you did for Oakland.
I know one thing that I've been thinking about, when we were back in high school, especially, back in the late 90s, how Skyline was the big powerhouse of Oakland.
Incomplete
and
pass.
Would always, put out 4, 5, 6 guys to Division I colleges. So they pretty much set the benchmark, and then kind of it fed off a little bit. Now when you look at the OAL now, you got guys coming out of McClymonds High School, coming out of Tech, coming out of Skyline, and just everywhere. And I think that it all started, back in, in the late 90s when guys would just go to all Division I's. Now I think the colleges are starting to come to Oakland because they see the kind of talent that they're putting out now.
Second down and 5 for Oakland Tech.
2nd and 5. We have a four wide receiver, 1 running back in the backfield. McCrady is motioning Banks to the right-hand side. He's dropping back the pass, short pass to Bernard Scott. Is it complete? And it is complete for a first down. Looks like a catch of about 10 yards.
With 3 minutes and 38 seconds left in the third quarter, Tech is down 33-7.
Tech seem to be having themselves a little bit of a drive right here. They keep the chains moving. They're approaching the red zone. What does this mean, Kurt, for a team like Tech when they're down by so much?
I think right here they got to get some points. You can't allow McClymonds to get the ball again because you can see how explosive their offense is right now. They're making the big play, on 1 or 2 play drives right now. You can't give McClymonds the ball again.
4 wide receiver, and he's looking for the pass to Godfrey Smith, and he breaks the tackle, but he is swarmed by all the McClymonds defense. He suffers a big collision, but he gets back up like it does not fade him at all.
And he does get 5 yards in that play. And that's the key to Oakland Tech right now, is get positive yardage. And as Kurt said, drive down there, not only get positive yardage, but get a score.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now it's 2nd and 5. This is great field position, great down for Oakland Tech, because it's 2nd and 5. You can run the ball, get no yards, and still have 3rd and 5. You can pass the ball and get 2 yards and have 3rd and 3. So this is a great down. 4 wide receivers, they hand it off to number 2, Damian Hodges, and he breaks for the first down, and he gets wrapped. Rico Thomas! I think this is his 3rd big hit of the ball game.
You talked about McClymonds running backs, you know, like 2 guys who were 2nd and 3rd in the OL in rushing. Guess who's 1st in rushing?
Rico!
But he's having a great game on defense.
Great game on defense. He has 3 explosive hits, and man, he seems to be really controlling that defensive right now. It's 4 wide receivers. They hand the ball once again to Mr. Hodges, and he trucks forward for a possible 2 yards.
Now, Kurt, quick question for you. You think with McClymonds playing as well as they're playing, if they do get the win today, do you think with the San Leandro and De La Salle game, they'll move up a notch?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I know McClymonds is ranked 3rd in the Bay Area.
The big game is
De La Salle and San Leandro. I think it depends on how De La Salle plays tomorrow, because everyone knows the mystique of De La Salle in the Bay Area.
4 wide
but San Leandro is 12-0 right now. And I think if San Leandro puts together a good performance and...
Oh, it was a 1-on-1 pass to the sideline to Bernard Scott.
If San Leandro goes out and beats De La Salle, I don't see why maybe McClymonds and San Leandro don't share the title, you know, as the best team in the Bay Area.
One argument can be made. I know people have been saying that McClymonds' one loss was to Dorsey. You know, Dorsey was the 20th ranked team in the state. You know, De La Salle lost to Clovis, which is unranked. So that's one plus in McClymonds' favor.
Yeah, but we all know how they do Oakland, OAL. You know, they really don't give us enough credit for how much talent that we are producing. You know, as you can say this by why we're not in the CIF playoffs, you know, and things like that, and how they're beginning to restructure things so that we can be in there. So really, we haven't got all the acknowledgement that we should have get, but at the same time, we continue to produce players of great talent. So that's really what it all comes down to. 4 wide receivers. Damian Jones in the backfield. And we get a pass, and and he breaks, it's a loose, McCready gets loose for 2. Oh! Holy smokes, McCready slides underneath 3 McClymonds players as all 3 of them collide into each other. Number 8, 5, and 38.
Oh, that quarterback made sure he got down fast.
Oh, he made a smart move in that play. Get down in a hurry.
He made those guys feel like the 3 Stooges right there.
Well, get his yardage and get down.
That's absolutely true. So now it's 4th and 11, it looks to be, and it seems as though they are going for it. I know they're in the red zone, and I know it seems like they really do need this score, but what do you think? Do you really think they should go for it, or should they go for the field goal? Or should they line up for their pass?
Oh, I don't think they got a field goal kicker that can kick that far.
Which is why they went for it, and it's an incomplete pass as he was rushed by number 9 from McClymonds, James Brown. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, James Brown. Thank you very much. So yeah, as we go, and it's first down for the McClymonds Warriors on the 25, on their own 25.
As I said earlier, you have a disheartened Oakland Tech team, but they did put forth their best effort to try to score on that series.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. And like we were saying, this defense for Oakland Tech, they're absolutely great. You know, the only thing is they're giving up those big plays, but this is as a result of all of the bashing that this big offensive line is doing to them. You know, they're continually running the ball, and then they're running the play action off of that, and they're throwing big passes down the field. So really, it's got Oakland Tech's defense on their heels a little bit. As Johnson fumbles the snap from the center, as the referee begins to umpile these players, we have to see McClymonds, in fact, does still retain possession of the ball, and it's 2nd and 11.
One thing that I'm noticing what McClymonds is doing, they've been running this unbalanced line with the tight end on the right-hand side, putting 4 offensive linemen on one side, and kind of loading that side up, and pretty much having the running back kind of pick and choose what he's doing. Here we have that same formation again, where you have a tight end on the bottom of the screen right here, but then also you have 4 offensive linemen to the top.
You see, what that does is that allows a mismatch of the defense. They can get a defensive mismatch on the corners, and they can get advantage by power scraping to the corners and picking whichever holes that they want. And this also confuses the
or they have wrong alignments and things of that nature. But this time it really didn't. It wasn't as effective as they went for a run and it was a tackle for a loss.
An excellent play by Anthony Gaddis, who shot the gap and made the tackle.
Yeah. That was great awareness, because this was fooling me all game. They were running there unbalanced, but I couldn't really get a gain on it, so I kept saying that it was a double tight. That was a great awareness by this linebacker right here. Got these in-game adjustments, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be on point. As the clock ticks to 0,
And as the clock ticks to 0, we're going to be back with a quick PSA from our station. So we'll be back in a sec, viewers.
We all deal with distractions. Your wireless phone shouldn't be one of them. Remember, state laws prohibit distracted driving.
The National Safety Council and the wireless phone industry remind you to drive safely. Safety, your most important call. Visit www.driveresponsibly.org.
Fourth quarter, McClymonds is up 33-7 with the Bulldogs starting off on their own 23rd-yard line.
I formation, big tackle by number 66 of Oakland Tech, and that's Christian Price. Defensive line, 6'3", 290-pound senior. That was a big tackle for a loss. Brings up 4th down and 12.
McClymonds in the punt formation. You know, I think this is time for Oakland Tech. They have to capitalize. You only have 11 minutes, 34 seconds left in your season. Down 33-7. You got to get something going, because right now there's no room for error.
You definitely need a big play by these punt returners as they get the punt and it goes short. Jameel Banks, not to receive the ball.
And it actually touches a player. It touches one of the Oakland Tech players.
Oh my goodness, not again, ladies and gentlemen. Oakland Tech has, Jameel Banks has exercised undiscipline on this short punt. Normally when a punt returner sees a short punt, you call Peter, you get away from the punt, you get away from the ball, because if the ball touches the receiving team, the ball becomes live, and the defensive and the punting team is able to pick up the ball for possession. And this, in fact, is what happened. Jameel Banks did not signal his players away. He himself did not get away from the ball. It may have touched him. This giving McClymonds possession of the ball at their own at Oakland Tech's 40.
Unfortunately, that's been the story of the game for Oakland Tech. These turnovers early, 2 turnovers early that gave McClymonds 2 touchdowns. You can't do that.
No, you definitely can't do it. As we get a play action pass from Johnson, and he has all day, but he slips as he runs away from number 56 from Oakland Tech. Now it's a slew of Oakland Tech defenders as they tackle on the sideline of the 48 for a big sack.
Once again, I do want to compliment Coach Edwards, because this Oakland Tech team is still playing very hard.
Yeah, this defense is still definitely in it. They're showing that this is not going to be a cakewalk, but at the same time, they can't really seem to put it together. You know, they play good 3 good downs, and then for one reason or the other, 1 down they may have a breakdown, and it goes to long yardage. And you know, big plays, you can't have big plays, especially when you're playing this good as a defense. Especially, Kurt, how does that feel when you're on the defensive field and let's say you went on a 15-play drive or what have you, and 1 play you stopped them, and 1 play, boom, bust out for a 30-yard gain.
That's a play where you gotta maintain your composure. You know, sometimes things like that happen in a football game, and
as it's happening right now, as Rico Thomas comes into the game and runs for a good 12 yards. It looks as though he's shaking up on a play.
Yeah, it's pretty much this McClymonds team has got some talented running backs, and I think they always know that. You know, if they get a negative play, they can always come back and pop that big one, because you never know. They might take it the distance on every single play. They have that ability to go for a touchdown.
You've seen that a couple times tonight, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's absolutely, that's what's so dangerous, and that is one of the reasons why this McClymonds team is ranked so high in the polls of the state, because they have this explosive capability that any point in time they can touch the ball and they can go all the way. You know, me, seeing as though I'm coming from USC, I would like to call it the Reggie Bush factor. I formation, play action pass, Thomas is back to pass, and he sees somebody open, number 9, and he drops the ball. Number 9, James Brown, said he was not going to do the Hollywood shuffle in the end zone. He wanted another play. I don't know what's going on, kids. You need to get yourself together and make yourself get in the paper. Make that big time catch and run it to the end zone. Yeah, one-on-one coverage, and he dropped the ball lack of concentration.
James Brown was ready to sing too soon on that one.
I heard that.
Yeah, he said that's a play you got to make. You know, this is especially in front of the fans. You know, your family and friends out here. That's a play you got to make in the championship game. I know he's in the huddle right now crying to himself because he wanted to make that big play.
James Brown is feeling really bad right now.
Well, he's definitely not seen. So now it's an odd slot formation. The slot is to the right, short side of the field. Looks as though they're going to go for the play. Action reverse to number 2, Stephen Blackwell, and he's caught in the backfield by number 21, 47, and 66. Looks as though that play was not fooling anybody. That was a 4th down. It is not going to fare over with the McClymonds fans. As they turn over the ball, McClymonds offense gets the ball approximately at the 45-yard line.
I can't say this too much about Oakland Tech. And as I said, I'm a confident coach here. These guys, these young men here from Oakland Tech are still playing very, very hard.
Definitely. Anthony McCrady is taking control of his offensive unit, brings them to the line of scrimmage. One running back in the backfield. He motions number 11 to the left-hand side as he hands the ball off to Steph. Steph makes a speed cut to the right, jumps cut to the left, and gets tackled for a 4-yard gain.
Another thing I want to comment on is here with 33-7 with 9 minutes to go. Coach Carter is still coaching very hard this game as well.
Yeah, please believe it. I think that he's trying to make himself a statement for the game. Because I actually got a chance to sit down and speak with him this week, and he was explaining to me on how things have begun to shift his way in the OAL league as far as he's been into 3 championship games or 4 championship games, and he's won 3 of them. So that's a big testament for him. Now it's a 4 wide receiver set. Number 11 motions again. Walker motions as McCrady goes for the pass, and it is deflected. It looks as though it's not a fumble. It's an incomplete pass, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what the ref has to call on this one. It might be offside penalty. Oh no, it's actually a clipping penalty on the Oakland Tech offensive line. That is I think a 10-yard penalty.
Or you said you talked to Coach Carter, you talked about dynasties. Obviously, you know about dynasties being in the Skyline and the USC.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, that was the fortunate thing about myself. I got a chance to witness 2 different dynasties, and they were both, you know, very uniquely different, but they were the same in each and every way. And I mean that by, you know, they took the small things very seriously, and they worked hard. That's the common denominator in being a champion and building a dynasty. You have to have the players who are willing to put forth the effort and just do the little things. Because as we know as football players, the little things count. You know, lining up on side, you know, holding on to the football, things like this. They play a major part in football. The 4 wide receivers set. McCrady goes for a wide receiver screen. Bernard Scott, as he is tackled for a 5 or 6 yard gain.
Those things you talked about are truly the key to success in life. So those things you learn in football, you carry those on in life.
That's definitely.
And for you viewing audiences out there, we got 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the Lou Jones 25th Silver Bowl. The score is 33-7, with McClymonds basically dominating today's Silver Bowl.
So, Kurt, how do you feel? Did you feel as though this game would be turned out as it did, or did you see it as it coming out in another outcome?
Well, I think looking at the game all week long, everybody knew that it was either McClymonds were going to run all over Oakland Tech, or Oakland Tech was going to pass all over McClymonds. And right now, it looks like McClymonds is running all over Tech, and the passing game for Tech really just hasn't been effective enough. You know, they've been still going to the air.
Passes to number 10. Jamil Banks has not yet been able to get a control of this game as he does not haul that pass in.
McClymonds is playing that 3-deep zone, that cover 3 zone, and unfortunately McCrady's lost that ball with a little too much air on it.
So back to what you were saying on how the passing game is not that effective for Oakland Tech right now. What do you think that they need to do to get it effective? I mean, they still have time. No one knows what's going to happen with 7:31 on the clock. This can still turn out to be a barn burner if they get everything together. So what must Tech have to do?
Well, right now, the only thing left to do is, you know, try to do some trickery. You know, try to do some flea flickers or reverses. Try to throw McClymonds off, because right now, you know, they just got a guys who are just swarming to the football right now, and they're doing everything right. And McClymonds, you know, pretty much has the game sold up. If you ask me, I don't think that Oakland Tech has enough firepower to get back from a deficit such as that much.
Stephen Blackwell opted not to receive that ball, letting the ball bounce dead at the 27-yard line of Oakland Tech. No, excuse me, McClymonds is on 27-yard line.
Down to 7 minutes and 19 seconds left. the fourth quarter, the Blue Jones 25th Silver Bowl. So, Mike, has the Oakland Raiders got anything going on community-wise?
In fact, yeah, absolutely. In fact, we have things going on every Tuesday. Our players are a day off on Tuesdays, and our players are out in the community every Tuesday. It's really great to be involved.
So, like viewers who are watching our broadcast, like check the website so they can possibly find out where they're going to be?
Most definitely. Check Raiders.com, our community section, Raiders.com, to check in and see what's going on.
A lot of people always.
And here we are off to the races.
A big play by the McClymonds running back number 2. No, that is Mr. Rico Thomas. He said, check this out, Omar. Not only can I provide the big hit, but I can definitely get to the He's house. He goes for a long run of approximately 60 yards. This is, I don't know what to say about this game. I mean, on one point in time, you see Oakland Tech putting up good defensive effort, and then it's just a breakdown in one play.
Well, it just shows you how much of a powerhouse the McClymonds Warriors are, because Tech is not a pushover team, but McClymonds is that stacked this year.
Okay, all right. Now, I'm with you on that argument, but the way that this game is playing out, it seems to me that McClymonds has yet to drive down the field on Oakland Tech. Oakland Tech's defense has been stopping them. They haven't, like, they had one drive, but they didn't score on it. All their scores either came from big one-yard plays, one long runs, or a pass play within 10 yards.
Omar, you're exactly right. That's what you see right here. McClymonds had a tough time driving, but when Oakland Tech gets out of their gap, that's where McClymonds hurt him in the big play.
No, I agree with both of you guys, but one thing about McClymonds, I followed them all year, is they got potent offensive players. And all it takes is for that one player, that one play. And that's exactly what they're showing tonight.
Yeah, definitely. No, that is definitely the case. It's just I really don't know what's going on here with the Oakland Tech defense. They're breaking down and really McClymonds is just taking advantage of everything that's going on in this football game. You know, they haven't really turned the ball over. They've capitalized on each and every turnover that they've got. So really, it's been a breeze for McClymonds today. Oakland Tech has not really put up that potent front. Like, hey, you know, we're here in the OEL Silver Bowl, and we earned the right to be here, and we're going to win this game. I mean, at times they showed little, you know, roadblocks here and there, but it seems as though they just pile drive through them.
One thing I do want to say, I do want to comment, is the crowd here. I mean, this is an enthusiastic crowd. You know, these young people of Oakland have really represented Oakland well behaved, as a compliment to these young people.
Yeah, that's a testimony to it. As they get pressure on Johnson, and he throws the ball to big number 7, Darius Ward, for a good 2-point conversion.
You're going to be seeing a lot more of Darius, because he also is starting forward for the McClymonds basketball team.
Oh, so basically we have an Antonio Gates in our midst.
No, we also have an Omar Nazel, Josh Shavies. When you guys put up a good old balance back in the day, bro, that's what I got. I got an Omar Nazel, Josh Shavies, man.
All right, here we go with they bringing me a blast to the past, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, I've been covering OEL sports since '91, so come on, Omar. You nice to be at all them hoop games, seeing you and Josh Shavies just battling out.
Skyline and Fremont. You know, I was there too. I mean, even though I did go to Odell, all my friends went to the OEL school, so I was a big fan.
Big up to Josh Shavies. He's actually now the coach. He's one of the coaches for the Washington State Cougars. So really, I'd like to show some respect for Josh Shavies and everything that he's doing out there for the Cougars. I hope he turns that program around.
Let me just give a shout out to that '99 state championship Clint Williams basketball team, because they made my job. They gave me so much comeuppance by me being able to produce a documentary on that state championship run, which is the last time an OEL team took state.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, and I was actually playing there. But that's nothing. So now we have McClymonds is kicking off. It is 41-7. I mean, really, this has been a downhill battle for McClymonds there. From the opening kickoff all the way until now, really McClymonds has held their own. They've showed, you know, they've been bullying Oakland Tech around. The first quarter, 2 players from Oakland Tech got hurt. You know, numerous penalties. We've had numerous turnovers, and this is cause for the landslide in the score. As they go for another squib kick, number 47 of Oakland Tech recovers it, and he says, man, I got to make a statement here. Rumbles up there for 5 extra yards.
47 Charles Gatlin said, hey, it's my time. Let me get a run in.
So, Kurt, when you were playing with Bishop Dow, did you ever get a chance to actually play on this luxurious field that you now are able to grace any and every Sunday that you wish?
No, I think the last year they had the playoffs, NCS playoffs, was 96, 97, I would say. 97 was the last time they had a game here, and they just recently started doing this again. I mean, I wish we could have had an opportunity to come play on this field, but you know, that's what happens. All the good stuff happens once guys like us leave.
Real. The real guys leave, and then they want to give all the other players the luxurious stuff. McCrady drops back the pass, and he is swamped by the McClymonds defender. Let's see who was leading the way, and it's number 56 with the first one there on the sack, Herschel Willingham. He's having a big day today, ladies and gentlemen.
As has been the case all night, McCrady has had no time to throw the football.
Absolutely. As we see Willingham running off to the sidelines, I don't know if he's necessarily tired or maybe he's trying to get a breath or it's a different defensive package. Who knows? We have a 4-wide receiver set. McCrady is bringing his offense to the line of scrimmage. He motions Godfrey to the left, and he hands the ball off to number 22 of McClymonds. Oakland Tech, Jonathan McKetchin. Yeah. Excuse me, that's Jonathan McKetchin.
I got a question for you, Omar. I'm just thinking back to one of the, you know, all the Silver Bowls that you've attended and been to.
Right.
What is your biggest Silver Bowl moment? Or if it's the game you played in or a game that you watched? Because I know I got a moment that I always remember just being at these games.
Okay, before I say this, let me call this next play. 3rd down and 12, four-wide receiver set. And they fake the handoff, McCrady does. And he throws to a cover, Bernard Scott, but it's an incomplete pass. Now, funny thing is for me, my biggest Silver Bowl moment is actually the year that I did not play in the Silver Bowl. We were actually, Skyline was playing McClymonds, and due to some unfortunate events, things happened, and there was a fight on the field, and a lot of things happened. And it was a funny year that year. It was my senior year, and it actually led to the cancellation of the Silver Bowl. I think it might have been the first time that this has ever happened since the Silver Bowl's there, and it was happening on my watch, and I'm really upset that it did happen like that. 5 receivers set by Oakland Tech. McCrady drops back the pass. He has a little bit of time, rolls out to his left-hand side, throws the bomb to Bernard. It's a little bit over him, and it's unplayable.
Unfortunately, that was a 4th down play, change of possession, McClymonds ball.
I remember, Mario, you probably might know this game, but I forget what year it was. Probably was like 95. I think it was maybe 95 or 94. And I think Skyline was down by 6 points to, who was it? I think it was Oakland High. It was 95 against Oakland High. And the game goes all the way down. We get to about the 4th quarter. There's about 4 minutes left. And LaCorey Collins picks up the pass. Fremont. Yeah. Intercepts the pass and takes it to the end zone. And I think the game, was it 7-6 or
it was like 13 something like that.
It was
real small.
It was a real like a 7-5 game because Fremont was up because they got a safety and a field goal.
Safety and a
so
field goal.
You are correct. It was a 7-5 game.
Yeah.
But I think one of my most memorable Silver Bowls was 203 when you have Marshawn Lynch, Kenny O'Neill, them guys just going back and forth. It was the most highest score points ever in the Silver Bowl.
Off balance set by McClymonds, and they run it to the right side.
But I would like to say, not to cut you off, I think the best Silver Bowl ever was 1980 when I played in Lorenzo Lynch and we beat Skyline at Fruitvale Field. That was the best Silver Bowl ever.
I bet you it was the best Silver Bowl ever.
You know, I gotta put my little plug in.
I mean, but just coming out here watching this, man, because I'm such a fan of the OAL, you know, because you know, I think back to the Parker brothers, you know, when they played Oakland High and Skyline.
Exactly.
You know, I think back to, you know, Dante Marsh when he was at McClymonds, Devon Banks.
Exactly. Dante Marsh is actually, he's playing in the CFL right now. He's playing for the BC Lions.
Okay.
A little bit of tidbit to know.
Good to know.
As Johnson is rolling out for his life, he's looking to get swarmed by a couple of defenders. As the ref falls down once again, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's going on. I think we need to put these refs through a couple of agility drills. This is the second time we're going to see somebody hit the pavement.
As you got 4 minutes and 29 seconds left in the 4th quarter, McClymonds is holding on to a 41-7 lead. Now, do you think McClymonds is going to try to increase the score so they can get more points in reference in the prep polls?
You know, I think they might try to do that. You know, one more score, you know, make the score a little bit more lopsided.
Make them see how much of a dominant team that they are.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is at the expense of Oakland Tech. I mean, you know, like I said, we've been saying all day, Oakland Tech's defense has been producing very well. It's just they've been having little breakdowns here and there, and every time they break down, it seems as though McClymonds is here to capitalize on it in a big way. As they run an off-balance formation, and they run it to the right-hand side, McCoy runs past 3 guys, and he fumbles. He fumbles. Number 20 strips him of the ball, but
Oh, there he is. Jamil Banks is finally getting some playing time. He is getting his name in the paper, but there is a flag on the play, so we have to see what in fact is going to happen right there.
Now, next time you guys get a chance to look at the offensive and defensive line, look how much size McClymonds has over Oakland Tech's defensive line.
But we also have to remember, see, this is one thing about football, and this is what they say about the West Coast football and the East Coast football. They say the East Coast football has a whole bunch of big players out there. They run heavy sets, they run downhill, power scrapes, you know, things of that nature. Whereas the West Coast offense, we run like zones and stretches and things. And see, what they say is that speed kills the size. In this case, this is not exactly the fact. So this says a lot for Alonzo Carter and how he trains his big guys. So not only are they big, but they're also athletic and able to move and to keep their stamina up for 4 quarters. That says a lot about this McClymonds team.
That's real talk. That's real talk.
So it's a weak formation, slide to the right-hand side, and they fumble the snap once again. I mean, you know, they're just adding it on top of it on top of it. So, you know, I really can't call what's going to happen with Oakland Tech because they're not putting it together now.
Unfortunately, we remember that play. That was the first play of the game when Oakland Tech turned the ball over.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Good point, Mike.
Absolutely.
Good point.
Way to revisit us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Forgot about that one. As we down to 3 minutes and 53 seconds left in the 4th quarter of the Lou Jones 25th Silver Bowl, McClymonds is holding on to a 41-7 lead.
They have a weak slot formation. The slot is to the wide side of the field, to the right side. Oh, and they hand the ball up to number 22, Hodges, I believe that is.
Jonathan McKetchin.
No, Jonathan McKetchin. And they also have a new quarterback in there, Terrence Gordon.
Well, I think Coach Edwards now is getting ready for next season.
Yeah, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when a team gets up by so many points. You do not want to hurt your players. What you want to do is you want to introduce your younger players into the field of a game, and especially in a big game like this. This allows them to get their feet wet and to do big things for next year. We officially would like to thank Kurt Morrison for coming up here into the broadcasting booth and helping us along.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for having me up here. This is a great Silver Ball. I mean, it's coming down to the end. You know, right now they about to get Coach Carter with the bucket of water. If you see it,
they got him.
And they got him. They just got Coach Carter.
There you go. There's a nice shot of Coach Carter, good friend of ours at KDOL.
Well deserved. Great.
He needs a little bit of knee lift with that running right there. That is bad positioning. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't run like this, okay? That's not how you run.
Yeah, we do want to thank Kurt for coming up. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we really enjoyed his company.
Well, he ain't going nowhere yet. He's going to close out with us, so he act like he's about to leave with 3 minutes left. Might as well go on and write it out. Okay, that's cool. We'd like to thank Kurt Morrison once again, man. I appreciate you coming up and
it's a strong slot formation. The slot is placed to the left-hand side, open side of the field. Looks like Gordon's had a little miscommunication with his receiver, number 18. He sets him back in motion. Number 5, and it's intercepted by number 24, McClymonds. Terrell Barnes.
Terrell Barnes wants to score. He's going.
Terrell Barnes is taking it to the
almost
5-yard line, maybe the 6, and he gets up and lets everybody know that my name is Terrell. Well, it's a beautiful day for McClymonds. I mean, they're really just running away with this ball game, and it looks as though they're going to punch it in once again from the 8 or 9 yard line for another score. What do you have to say about this game thus far? I mean, it is almost over.
Well, you know, I think definitely the Bulldogs had the right effort coming into the game, and some big mistakes early on may have cost them, and some big plays may have cost them. But I think they were very game. They actually thought they had a chance to win.
Some big mistakes definitely cost them, and even though they had those big mistakes, the score was still 9. You guys understand, the score was still 19-7 at halftime.
Yeah, and the thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is we have to also realize that these mistakes that were made by Oakland Tech were not forced by McClymonds. These were mistakes that Oakland Tech did upon themselves. They had a muffed handoff, as we see a tackle for a loss for Oakland Tech. They had a muffed handoff. They had 2 bad exchange from the center to the quarterback. They had a punt return that was fumbled. They had another a short kick that was touched by them and ended up into the hands of McClymonds. So, I mean, all of these things culminated together. That really doesn't vote good for this whole team. You know, this was really a turnover war.
And, you know, people are also failing to realize McClymonds is one of the top-ranked teams in the East Bay. So they're going to put up the numbers, and they're a hard team to beat. You got to basically, to beat a team like McClymonds, you You got to be mistake prone.
As they go in for the big touchdown, number 40, Ishmael Anderson. He had a big catch earlier this game, and this is just really the icing on the cake as they go up 47-7 in the 25th annual Oakland Athletic League Silver Bowl.
It's going to be in the hands of the Warriors.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's already close to their sideline. I see that with every year that the Silver Bowl is actually getting gold, or maybe orange is that.
No, you're right, because it was silver when I first got it.
Oh, is that right?
Well, 1980, we was the first recipient.
I'm just saying, maybe it got dusty when it was staying up on top of that hill for so long. You know.
I know where the first trophy case where it was at. It was in Central Oakland.
I think we do want to congratulate Coach Edwards. I mean, he had his team. I mean, really, we had his team. He played. They had a valiant effort. You know, they had a great season this year.
Yeah, I really can't say that I was upset at how the game turned out. I mean, this is two competitive teams, and things are going to happen. Football is about the teams who make the least amount of mistakes, and in this case, McClymonds made the least amount of mistakes, and so they're going to be the victor with 1:05 left on the clock.
And once again, I want to congratulate this crowd too. I mean, this is you can really the city of Oakland should be proud. I mean, these young people really came out and really supported these young kids out here. They should be proud.
Class A crowd. Class A crowd.
That's absolutely true. You know, we don't always get the respect or the recognition that we need when we do good, and I would like to say that we are doing good today, and this is a beautiful thing for Oakland.
And may I also say, for you being your first time on the mic, you did one heck of a job. Like you've been doing this for years.
Thank you. I definitely
keep this up. Keep this up.
And
man.
I agree with that.
As we see the slot formation, motion to three backs, and they go
Gray.
for Johnson.
That's Johnson Gray. Joseph Gray.
Joseph Gray catches a two-point conversion.
Whose brother David Gray plays for Cal Berkeley, number 4 to receiver.
You know what? Really, we've been talking about the running game all day, and we have not mentioned that LeRon Johnson, he hasn't thrown an interception today. He has, 2 touchdowns. He has 2 two-point conversions. I mean, this guy is playing excellent. I mean, he might not be the player of the game because Willie Griffin, he is a stud. He played very well this game.
LeRon Johnson has managed this game. He does what a quarterback should do, manage the game.
That's absolutely true. So I will give him a lot of respect for just orchestrating this offense. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't force too many things. He didn't force anything, as a matter of fact. He took what the defense gave him, and that is how a quarterback should operate. I believe that he's coming back for it next year. So let's look out next year for Mr. LeRon Johnson. I really like the way that he played. We're going to see him probably gain a little bit more strength, speed, and knowledge from the quarterback position. And as we see, McClymonds, there's Willie Griffin letting it be known that McClymonds is here, baby.
Also, Darius Ward.
Just sparking up the cheerleaders and the whole crowd.
And look, like I said, look for the Darius to kick up some dust like Omar and Josh Shaky kick up on the basketball court. He's going to kick up some dust on that hoop court.
Yeah, we're really excited about these plays.
And the celebration is beginning. Obviously, we want to congratulate Coach Carter, too, on the well-earned 11-1 season.
Like I said before in the broadcast, this is, I think, his 5th appearance as at the Silver Bowl.
That's correct.
And this will be his 4th win.
Yeah.
So we can officially say that this is an Oakland dynasty.
Oh, without a doubt.
As I was sitting back when I'm talking to him,
yeah.
he told me that the difference between what he was doing and what a lot of other teams was doing was the fact that he was giving this team more exposure. He was going down to Los Angeles, playing out there in Los Angeles. He also was working out with them year-round, putting them into an intense workout regimen, which allows the athlete to be prepared for what they're going to become in college. He's putting them through the same drills that they're supposed to do in college, therefore just giving them that extra edge. So maybe this is what it is. And I mean, man, as we can see, this is the 4th victory in 5 years. So, you know, this is a testimony to Alonzo Carter. I mean, he is really have a lot of athletes out here that's doing spectacular, but he's brought it together.
Not only that, Coach Carter, I mean, he wants teams. Let me read something that he said about these teams here. They won't admit it, but a lot of these teams duck us. It's a lose-lose situation. If they beat us, we only have 600 students at our school. And a lot of coaches don't want to be a school that lost to a technically small school. So Coach Carter says, bring them on.
Oh, I talked to him last week when I was at the Laney game and or a couple of weeks ago, and he says that he's trying to play the San Leandros and the Bishop O'Dowds, but he's making the proper phone calls, but he's not getting no return phone calls.
You see, what happens is that, as it was when I was coming up, when we was in Skyline, Coach Bean was actually trying to do the same thing. And this is what we were talking about, how he actually has fell into the head honcho position of Oakland as a Coach Bean, but really Alonzo Carter, you know,
right.
the real Carter, Coach Carter, you know what I'm saying? So now we have somebody to go to who is the head of Oakland, and he has a lot of things that are going down with pro football players, with collegiate players. So he has something special going over there in West Oakland, I'll tell you that much.
We get down to 5 seconds left in the Lou Jones 25th Silver Bowl, played at McAfee Stadium in Oakland, California. It seems like McClymonds is going to definitely get the W with a 49-7 win. 5 seconds left. I'd like to thank our cameraman, our one-man cameraman, Robert Lamone, did an excellent job.
So Lamone did it easy.
It don't get no better than Robert Lamone. Don't get no better than this. He's been doing it for the past 4 years, solo. That's how we get out here.
Respect.
If you ever want to hire a good cinema photographer, Robert Lamone is the man. And he gives out to big fullback for the last carry of the game, as the game is now officially over with, as McClymonds Warriors are now the 25th Lou Jones Silver Bowl champions.
I know this feels wonderful as the McClymonds players get off the field. Oh my goodness! Oh, this is not something that you want to see. We have an Oakland Tech player down. I really think it's.
So that's okay. We're going to go on in between the camera runners so we can go on and close out. We got an extra cameraman down on the field, Coach Denny Amin from Castlemont High, who's doing behind the scenes for us for the Silver Bowl. We're going to roll the credits over that. So in our closing comments, Mike, anything you'd like to say for closing comments?
I want to say that, as I said, the city of Oakland should be proud, very proud of these young people. These young people really came out and supported this cause. Good game. It was a good game. I mean, good game because Oakland Tech was in early. And give it to McClymonds. I mean, they dominated. They are number one.
Okay. Omar, closing statement.
Well, I would just like to say that really it was a turnover battle. You know, McClymonds really didn't do anything too special. They had a couple of big runs there, and they did produce the points on the football, but really it was a turnover battle. Oakland Tech couldn't control the ball, and that's what gave the McClymonds easy scores, and then they just ran away with the game.
Thank you, Omar. For Mike Taylor, Omar Nazel, myself, Mario Bobino, the cameraman, Robert Lamone. Thank you for seeing us for the 25th Lou Jones Silver Bowl. As our cameraman was just swinging around, as we'll show our B-roll as we roll the credits.
Watch this. Self, line over like you in trips on the left side, right? Motion left, and then we're going to run a counter. So you're going to do it just like if somebody in the backfield, but it ain't. Instead, we're going to come on and run. We're going 24 count. Okay, so whoever comes to it, both pulling, right. Go! Some motion, you loop out like you're going to do a sweep. Right. So you're going to loop back. Right. Go, Chef. Go one. Go one. Yeah. You are 16, I done did this song. I swear I can't leave that alone, baby. What's up, baby? You see me? Street, ball up, there's mid-time. Trying to see if it's me. It's going down, I can't leave that alone, baby. No, it's not enough. You see me? Street, ball up, there's mid-time. Stop it. Blackwell was in the section, and he's running down the sideline, all the way to the 50. Best combo to first yard. Crew like gunners and dudes is runners, a bunch of... Oh, Willie. Boom! They can't be just like us. Rap dudes think it's cool to rock ice and birds. Like dudes, they start selling rocks and ice off birds. That's what you heard. Keep biting and watch you get served. No burgers, no fries. Hit it! There we go. Oh, that's on my boy. 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 That's on my boy right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's on my boy right there. Stop out, Dante. Oh, come on. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Good job, Rico. Go, Rico. I'm a hood star, my baby boy, what's good in the O. What it do? Just some specials in ocean classic. $1 in the road, on that 80 swerving, no plastic. Who's that is? Keep us back, jacket on dirt, serving in the rain in the
to the number bossing up with my tools. Flawless music under dig, with the baby rips good. Shooting the south flow in the paint, sticky air with spot rips good. Shooting the side show with the cigarettes and donuts rips good. Block monster boy, I'm still in the hood. We do it moving on.
Big rap along the bay, lead me. What's up, baby? You see me? Stacy. Walnut, the players from Midtown. Just trying to see if me. It's going down. I said, I can't leave rap along the bay, lead me. What's up, baby? You see me? Stacy. Walnut, the players from Midtown.
At the thought I was foolish and proud, and let you say goodbye.